Let's hope that worked. Welcome all, everyone.
I think that worked. Hey, guys.
Yeah.
Things have never been better.
Yeah. That's...
How's everyone doing? Hope you're staying safe.
Stuart, are you going to the carnival?
No. I'm a plague doctor.
Oh, then what's your solution to the world of the plague?
Masks with long noses, guaranteed to not get you sick.
It's true.
Yeah. So.
And what do the long noses do to protect? Do they just...
I have no idea. I've always wondered that myself.
Well, maybe you could
but
put
anyway.
like incense in the nozzle, and then
Oh, probably.
or vaccine in the nozzle would be kind of fun.
Probably. I'm just another form of android. That's what it is. I got like Dr. Nudie Soon's nose, or Brent Spiner's nose, one or the other.
All right, just move the microphone a little bit away, Stuart. But I think we're fine apart from that.
Well, it can't really go much further.
Then that is
there it is.
Okay. So guys,
right.
just because of reasons, I'm now on Ethernet rather than Wi-Fi, and so we're currently at 1,000 kilobytes. I'm going to crank this baby up, and let's see if we can get a bit rate higher than ever before, because the speeds should be much better. So it's a putting other people off in the house, but let us know if the stream looks really, really good. Because I'm actually a bit absurd with it right now. We're now at 10,000 kilobytes, which is 3 times our highest quality. We're still in the green. I'm going to keep upping it then. So
anyway, guys,
15,000. Oh, there we go. Yeah, limit at 10,000. Okay, we'll keep it at 9,600. Right.
It is time to discuss episode 9
It is
Picard, called Et in Arcadia Ego, Part 1. Because Latin.
Yes. It's one of those ones that you'll never be able to say to people. You'll be like, yep, the pre-season finale one. That's all you better say. I don't know. So guys, what do you think? Does it look very, very good?
Thrib says doesn't matter since YouTube are forcing standard definition in Europe.
This is true, but I can still get HD. Oh, I guess unless it's lying, it's not really HD. But it's good for after the fact, it'll still be encoded in HD. But yeah, I think this will be an interesting review. Hopefully you guys have watched our small review, which is actually our longest one of the season so far, at 26 minutes. It was actually longer, but I shortened them down. Already 1,500 views in 1 hour. Hopefully lots of people watching this one today. There's a lot of stuff to talk about this in this week.
There is, so we should probably just get into it so we're not here for 4 hours.
I think best if we see your face, Joe. I think the joke has run its course.
Oh, but people, they like it.
They do.
They don't want to see me.
We like your face more.
Is that the truth?
You can't handle the... No, it's the truth.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, guys, I guess I'll share, and you can do a pre-bit.
Yeah, you know the routine, guys. If you guys want to help us out, you can do so, and you get your voice heard, comment, read, your question answered, all that kind of jazz. If anything you feel about this episode, throw it in a super chat, and we'll have to read it on air and talk about it. There are other ways to help us as well. PayPal. There's another way that all that information is down below. If you do send a PayPal, though, make sure you let us know in the chat so that we can get the email and read your comment or question via the email. Pretty simple. Other ways to help us down there, of course, clicking the Teespring store, getting some Trekyards merch, joining the channel. Looks like we've got some new members already before this even started, so that's awesome. And of course, just chatting, letting us know what you guys think about the episode is fantastic. So there you go. Amol says Captain Foley just came from a secret society meeting with Tom Cruise. Yes, eyes wide shut. Eyes wide shut. There you go. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, there's a lot to talk about with this episode, as we've kind of mentioned, and we are hoping that you guys will join us for the discussion. Sorry, I just got to do something here real quick before I forget. There we go. So yeah, so yeah, there you go. Okay. I like this one, very, very season 1 Team G, but beating the Borg with flowers, really? Well, that was kind of stupid, yeah.
Did you mention the PayPal, Stuart?
I did.
Did you mention the join, Stuart?
I did.
Did you mention the Patreon, Stuart?
No.
Did you mention the strip club venture we want to try and see if that works?
In great detail.
Okay, good.
That's why I didn't get to Patreon. That's why I didn't get to Patreon, because I was focused on that. It's a Star Trek themed strip club that we want to start. So
if you want to have some time with Andorian, or Tellarite, I mean, those are special.
Yeah.
Okay,
just hire all Ferengi women. They automatically have no clothes. So,
but that's not titillating. Like those.
True enough.
Those are outside just gay people links. It's so not a thing. Wow, yeah, tangent. So do click like. 64 likes already. We want to see at least 300 people here joining us today. We want to see at least 300 likes as well as people come in and out, because this is a very dense one to talk about. But Stu, if you want to try super chats, then we can get going.
Well, yeah, we got 2 people joined the channel before we started. Lizzie
wow.
Smith is a member now. Welcome to the rank of Commander. I think she joined already, but that was like a holdover from whatever when I redid the stream. But anyway, welcome, Lizzie.
Okay.
Charles Aronowitz is now a commander as well, so welcome to the channel.
Welcome. Thank you.
And Eugene, of course, is here, and he put in 1,000 rubles.
Brilliant.
And says, oh boy, it's the style of first episodes all over again. Shaky cam, multiple short, disjointed scenes with sharp cuts, but little solid stories, so it feels extremely dense and incredibly hollow at the same time. And so many Mass Effect 3 feels. Yeah, I said the same thing. It felt very hollow at the end of it. So that's a great description.
And this has been our first episode out of all 9. We've actually had the same opinion coming out. Not to say that we've been that far apart with a couple, but normally it's either you like it more than I do quite a bit, or vice versa, or you don't like it and I love it. There's been this weird disparity between us because we look for different things. And this one, we've had basically the same opinion on almost everything.
Yeah.
I don't know what that tells you, but something. Something. Don't know.
My God, the Trekyards guys are in agreement.
And not to say
the end of the world.
Not to say that makes us any less valuable as a review, but yeah.
No. Taurus 69, $2, 51 likes, 106 watching. Let's get to 100. 144 of you here now. Everybody hit that like button. Very simple to do. It's a great way to help us out, and it's free.
And you have a YouTube channel to do it.
That's right. You can just hit like. Because I always forget to hit like when I watch videos, and I feel bad. So.
I clicked our own like button because we're worth it.
Well, that sounds dirty. The Trembler puts in $10.
Oh,
thank you very much. To me, the episode's okay. There's more good than bad. Most of the bad is to do with the androids, mostly backstory. But thinking back on the episode, I think about the bad stuff. Yeah.
Good summary as well, actually. I just finished watching it again for the second time, so it's very fresh in my brain. So Stuart, then now you said more. Well, how many times have you watched this one now? And have you watched any more, any less than previous ones?
I've watched this a lot less than previous ones. I've only watched this one 3 times.
And is there a particular reason, or just busy?
Yeah. A little bit of not wanting to.
See, that's why I asked, because you
a little bit of busy, a little bit of doing other things, but yeah, some of the other ones I've watched like 7 times. So
back to back, that was all of his day. So, what was your overall general spoiler-filled discussion review style thoughts on this episode then?
I mirror Eugene. I mean, it seems like there's a lot going on, and we do get some nice moments, mind you, especially near the first half of the episode is pretty good as far as some interesting moments and things happening. And then it kind of falls apart at the end. So it feels like there was a lot for little payoff. But then again, it's part one of two, even though it's serialized storytelling, so they've all been parts of the greater whole. But this one just felt like, at the end of it, I was like, okay, I feel empty. I feel hollow. What happened? So it just is not much there. That being said, there's a lot of new stuff introduced, and we get to see a familiar face, and not quite the way I wanted. But it was great to see Brent back doing his thing. So yeah, there's a little bit of disappointment in there as well, because we did kind of get what we wanted, but not really. So, so that's kind of where I stand on it, and not enough 7 of 9.
Not enough. Well, it almost feels if the first half is a holdover from the script changes when they were moving in a different direction when Riker came in last episode. That's like a holdover. Yeah. And then you had to get back to the original plot and like, oh, it's really stupid. Because it's like, I was waiting for him to get the synth stuff. But the synth stuff, it kept going downhill. It was a rolling tire that kept going down. And by the end of the episode, like, wow, how do we go from this high note at the start, or at least the start to the middle, and go all the way down to a low note of quality and of intrigue? Mm-hmm. But I do think that's any TV show where there's a mystery, where there's a building narrative, where there's intrigue and theory, and you're wondering what if. Anytime you then give answers, if they're not good answers, if they're not well thought out, if they're so simple and not satisfying, obviously you're going to feel disappointed and let down and hollow, because every episode we've been thinking, where's it going to go? How's it going to go? It's like, oh, that.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's no more mystery to be had. And now you're just forced to accept this is what we're going to get next week. That's a shame. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And 90 Lancaster says, nitpicking nerd found out that they borrowed a bunch of things from stock video sources, such as the white robot in the Vision. And yeah, I haven't seen that video yet, but I said the same thing to Samuel earlier. Mm-hmm. The white robot with the huge ass delta on its chest. The delta was added. I've seen that robot in Ancient Aliens when they're talking about artificial intelligence from other cultures, things like that, or other planets. So it's stock footage. So is the alien face or the android face that Data morphs into Data. So yeah, very cheap. And for a Star Trek production, I find that very, like, ultimately too lazy. Like, this is Star Trek. You should be creating your own androids, your own visuals.
Well, like we've said before, now having watched most of the season, Star Trek Enterprise felt more expensive. Star Trek Voyager felt more expensive. Where is the money going on this show? Discovery felt more expensive. Yeah. Something is draining the budget of this show. It's not going on screen. It feels like, for the most expensive Trek show ever made, it feels like one of the least expensive Trek shows ever made. And to use that is insane. And it's not in itself a bad thing. Maybe you could but it's very strange. And this episode again felt relatively low budget. I mean, simple.
Yeah, well, 90 Lancaster says they used to reuse matte paintings a lot, but I don't mind so much. I don't either, because those matte paintings were made specifically for the show, and they have the right to reuse them. They're new landscapes that we hadn't seen before. You can't go to an art gallery and buy them. You didn't buy it to bring it. Look, it's our matte painting.
And they also had over double the amount of episodes per season, and less budget per episode, and less budget per season. So more time, more energy, more money, and you get less quality. It seems absurd. So my thoughts on this episode then, I walked away saying I'm not sure what I thought about it. And talking to you, I more cemented. I think the first half is pretty good. The first half continues the quality that last week's was. And the second half drops the ball very quickly. Only until the end, though, do you think that, I think? Only when Sutra goes on her rant do you realise how bad the plot is. Up until then, you're wondering what's going to happen. So I think it's the payoff. The payoff is so bad that it actually makes the episode worse. But the intro is pretty fun. I like the new characters introduction. The Sung is a great, for me more so than new, is a great introduction. Picard was underused but still kept his strength from last week. Jurati is such a non-character. Why bother? She's just there. She's just been invented to give them the information. That's it. That's all. That's why she's in this storyline. So if you think about it, I'm skipping a little bit, but they ask, was Soju's mission successful? She says yes. Her mission was to go to a Borg cube to work out why the synth ban was in Earth. She didn't discover that. Jurati happened to be found with O, who happened to go onto the Arena, that happened to be the ones that rescue Soji, that happened to work out the truth. So because of all these coincidences and people coming together, then now she's got information back. She failed in the mission horribly. So I don't know why she's like, oh, I succeeded because of coincidences. That's the only reason Jurati's here, because they need the information to be given. Bad characterization, bad plotting, feels very hollow. You know, you could almost take her out. You could replace her with a memory chip. One that's a virus that kills Maddox automatically, and one that gives information. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the episode, you realise, oh wait, the Romulans are the good guys.
Yeah, they've been right all along, and Picard's been wrong.
And now I'm rooting for the Romulans next week. Seriously, I'm literally rooting for the Romulans. Because, unfortunately, I do think that 500 trillion lives outweighs 110.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. I mean, okay.
Oh, I agree 100%. So I thought the same thing watching it. I was like, I'm so disappointed because the Zot Vosh were right all along.
Yep.
So...
Yeah. So as soon as synthetics find the planet and get the warning, then they know, if we call out these bigger, if we call out the Reapers, they'll kill everyone in the galaxy. Oh, look at that! We could be back. Oh, great. So yeah, don't ever let synthetics have the whatever it's called.
The vote. Oh.
Yeah.
Tom Casey puts in $2.
Thank you.
Plot this week all over the place. 5 out of 10 for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, Eugene, 500 rubles. Previous episode closed multiple plot lines, therefore it practically Last Jedi'd the finale. So it feels like The Rise of Skywalker. But I doubt it is how this has actually happened. Budget does not match the production.
Yeah. And I do think when they changed the structure of the season, they changed so much, but they said, right, we've got to keep the 2 episodes the same at the end. And so they had a course, they did this, and they got back on course at the end. It's like, but now it doesn't all connect properly. It doesn't all connect.
We cut out those middle pieces and have the first 3 episodes and the last 2 episodes, and it'd be like, okay, there's a story there.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Leon McGinnis, though, £5. Budget is probably being saved for the final battle, CGI fest, Romulan Warbird, Starfleet Task Force, original TNG actors, wages, maybe. I mean, I'm hoping for a cameo or somebody to show up at the end for a good cliffhanger, but
yeah,
they could still do better budgeting than that.
Yeah, if they have to siphon $1 million per episode to go to the final episode, then basically it's not 7 million episode, it's 5 million episode with a season finale that's 10, which is not how that works. You should say it that way then, because that doesn't... It's a broken budget. It really is. I'd love to know how much, because as people say, the producers, there's so many executive producers and they tend to get higher money than most people. $1 million might have gone to executive producers alone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
mm-hmm.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Fleet Pass Swiftback puts in $2. Not impressed with this one. Loved seeing Brent. Yep.
Yes.
It's a good summary of the whole episode.
Absolutely. But the thing is, I didn't not like it. That's the thing. I did still enjoy watching it. But
it's one I would probably watch over a few of the other ones in the series.
Yes.
But barely.
It's just sad because we had so many high hopes.
Yeah.
And certainly, yeah, Mass Effect. I mean, the people that wrote this definitely played Mass Effect. I mean, the parallels are extreme. And they're also very similar to last season. Come on. How Discovery, how do you have ultra AI synthetic artificially created organism data thing from the future comes back in time to kill, or comes back in from the future after they've killed all organic sentient life? This season, artificial synthetic, I mean, you could argue AI also just in organic bodies, bringing other sentient AI organics from out of the galaxy to kill all life in the galaxy again. It's the same plot, but they've like swapped 2 elements. Why would you do that? It's the same rough plot. I don't understand.
Because Alex Kurtzman's kid was playing Mass Effect 3 and he was watching the gameplay and went, oh, that's a good idea for a story.
And there's a big blue beam in the sky coming next week, because you know how much they love big blue beams in the sky.
Well, those are the harbingers of evil.
Oh, Harbinger. That's one of the Reapers. It's called Harbinger. See, you're working out already.
The Trembler, $10.
Oh, dude.
Don't agree. Romulans are the good guys. Sutra was moved in part by fear, inspiring a lot of Romulan actions and what the Federation was manipulated to do. This is a cycle of hatred and fear situation.
Well, obviously, yes, but who are you rooting for now? You're not rooting for the synthetics that want to kill out all life. Like, you know what I mean? You can't root for them anymore. So all you have is the lesser of two evils. And because the Romans are always trying to save the galaxy, the synthetics are now trying to destroy the galaxy. So by that simple mathematics, yes, both driven by fear, but as soon as the synthetics learned they could destroy everyone, they've tried to. That's why we hope law's involved, because that would help bring this all together more. But it's like, oh my god. Now I do hope like Soji kills her and like they're very like sheep mentality. If the leader says no, we'll say no. But still, you know, so they should know better, and Sung should know better, and don't be killing all life in the galaxy. It's not good. It's not good.
Don't do that.
No.
Justin Hampton, $2. Maybe New Sung same means something like B4 and F8. I didn't catch his name. I don't really care.
Maybe, yeah.
It's got that point where the first like 4 or 5 episodes, I was like writing everything down and cared about what people's names were and stuff. Now it's like I don't give a shit. I'm not writing any notes. It's just like
I've stopped writing notes.
I've seen it enough that I just like, you guys will tell us in the chat what people's names are if we forget. So it's just like whatever.
Which is weird. For Discovery, did that for every episode, didn't we? Every episode, notes on the dot.
Yeah. That's because Discovery's more confusing.
Yes.
But anyway.
Yes, it actually hurts canon rather than just uses canon.
Taurus 69, $2. 100. Let's get to 150. Yes, let's get to 150 likes. 212 you hear. Everybody hit that like button. And Jarzy at $2. Hey. Star Trek should be about breaking cycles of fear. Yeah, definitely should be.
And Kevin Tipcorn says we need a Legion to help us reprogram the androids to reject the machine saviors. Yes, Legion from Mass Effect. Absolutely. But again, I did not like this episode. It's just disappointing. Yeah, I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed.
It's like your parents when they say that. You're like, oh.
Yep. And wasn't it weird? Like, we met Brent Spiner several months ago. Why does he still sound like this on camera? Well, he doesn't sound like that in real life. Did he have a cold for the 3 months he was filming? Because he doesn't sound like that in real life. Why was he... I don't understand. Maybe he's just trying to sound older, but he's not. He's putting on a voice. Or it was weird.
It is weird, and yeah, maybe he's just sick. Lex Strummett puts in $2.
Thank
you. So are probably not the Takan. Are they the guys that upgraded V'ger? We might have a live about that next week, talking about that very topic. So just stay tuned. Hit that like button and subscribe button and notification icon so you get notified.
But it was the Takon Empire, but it wasn't. But they got completely destroyed by everyone, and then the other people left the message. But who moved the suns? Yeah. Right, so let's get into it then. That was a solid preamble. So we start exactly where we'd expect to start, and I'll give him credit. I thought the pacing in this episode was pretty good. They've not always been the best at pacing, but this first bit was short, concise, to the point, except I wanted another 10 to 15 minutes of story. Which we could have done with.
Yep. Fleet Pass took back $2. The thought, new soon is lore in synth form. Also, stay tuned for videos and discussion on that topic as well.
Yes, we have had these discussions already to work out what we're going to talk about, and that's certainly one of them. And I'm sure we'll mention it as we go. But yes, they're travelling through sort of transwarp, visual reboot transwarp. Looks nice enough. They get to the planet. Looks nice enough.
You can see the odd thunder or the odd lightning flash in the corner where the dark part of the planet is. It's fine. It's lightning, don't you know?
Yes. And the crew's being fun together and nice, and it's all good. Oh, and then Girardi comes out and says, Starbase 12, am I? No? Okay. Because they didn't tell her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not getting arrested today.
I love how Rafi's like, well, you got us here really quick, hon, but I'm never doing that again.
Yeah, it's cute.
Because everybody looked terrified in the corridor, except for, like, Rios, who's, like, enjoying it, and Soji's just, like, smiling.
Well, Picard's like,
Been here, done that, just not in this kind of rust bucket.
Yeah. No, it's a good intro. It's a good intro. And then beep. Oh, we get red alert. First time they've gone to red alert? Did they get a red alert when the other Romulan ship attacked?
I think so.
They sound like a real klaxon. I actually noticed it's like, oh, red alert siren. I feel like it was the first time. The Romulan ship comes out, and because it's so goddamn small, it's literally just a little green blip. Because the scaling's a bit broken. And then we get immediate high octane flips. Now remember that, guys, that the Lesserina can do incredibly intricate maneuvers, death-defying, that a cargo ship can do, like really absurdly good maneuvers. Like runabouts can't do that type now. Like Delta Fly can't even do that, I wouldn't think, necessarily. I
think it could. We just never saw it because they didn't show that kind of action in this kind of way before.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the seatbelts come on because I don't know why it didn't happen in the Romulan battle, that they were doing maneuvering like this then. But they're like, activate the seatbelts, which is great to have seatbelts in Trek. So
yeah, total credit for them is just be consistent.
Yeah.
But I just didn't think of it then, I guess.
Yeah. So they have a little bit of a tangle with Narek, and there's a line that bothered you about the disruptors. He's powering up his disruptors, even though they were being shot at by those disruptors.
Yeah. So you get this whole flyby thing, get some nice shots of like details of this arena, which I like, because I like details. I don't like how maneuverable it is. And also it's phasers. I love it. Okay, it's using phasers, but like... It's like, calm down, just go... Very modern. They also sound like Discovery phasers, but whatever.
I think your video is frozen on the live stream.
It is. Hold on. But at least it's got phasers. Although I don't know where the phasers are coming out of. I don't think they know either. They just make them... At least it's not the engines. And then you get this moment that I didn't like as I was watching it, because the ship, after they've shot the Romulan ship, it seems to be trying to cloak but not, and damaged and not, and then like a spiral of, oh no, it's damaged, oh no. And I was like, so why did he attack them if their phasers can defeat him really easily? That's really stupid, again.
Yeah, should have stayed cloak and observed them and gone down and found out where the colony was, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was weird. He was like, the cloak was like, and all of a sudden he's behind them. And oh my god, he used his cloak as a projector.
Does that make sense?
Not at all. But that's okay.
I mean, they invented cloaks, maybe, but wouldn't they? But if they made the cloak turn to projector, then they would still be visible. So there'd be two of them, which means they would see the other one. And since only one of them would have an energy signature, they would see the one that was real, not the other one.
You'd think.
And if they've, unless they attacked the fake one the entire time, but then it was firing weapons. I just realized that makes no sense.
It didn't make any sense. So yeah.
Okay. And I thought it was going to be, because they have this interesting debate about, well, do we save him because his life signs are dying? And she's all like, let him die, because like there's a difference between killing when you're being attacked versus not helping someone who's in need after a battle. And that might be foreshadowing later, I think. So I assumed that they would then say, because they said beam him to the sickbay, I assumed they'd say lowering shields and then Narek would attack and they'd be helpless. No, they'd shields on. So what was the point of this scene if didn't do anything?
Like you said, probably foreshadowing something later.
Oh yeah. And then they're shooting. So Narek's shooting weapons, and then cut to Rio saying, "Oh, he's charging disruptors," as he's firing disruptors, and you're like, what the hell are you on about? Just don't have him fire disruptors in the VFX, you idiots. Really weird. I mean, they're very bad at space battles, in my opinion. Like, subpar. But oh well.
Yes. I gotta say, it was a cool visual, though, putting him on the view screen. And still having the window around it. That was kind of neat.
Was, yeah. Exactly as it should be. When he said on viewer, I thought it was going to hail him. And they were going to talk to him. Because that's what you mean. Put him on viewer would tend to be... Because, yeah, a window is really unhelpful if he's behind you. Because it's a window. If you've got a view screen. So it's already proved the usefulness of this compared to the window. Instantly. It's not useful. I mean, it's useful, but it's not as effective. But then...
Samuel.
Oh, hello. Yes?
That was unexpected. Or that's unexpected. This is one of the best one of the better parts of this episode, for sure. Of this season.
One of the best visuals. Just something about it is artistry.
Yep. And as you said, the Borg cube looks like it should. The green glows everywhere. Beautiful. Looks great. Coming out of transwarp. And it's like... It's not... You hope something cool happens right about now, but... Oh, all of a sudden we're getting attacked by a flower. Or, no, 5 flowers. Sorry. Hold on, before we get to that.
Hold on. When you say it like that, hold on, we're getting attacked by a flower. This is where can you imagine pitching this? Right, a Borg cube comes out.
Pitch meeting.
And flowers die. Okay, go on, Akiva. Oh, you're doing it anyway. Okay, Akiva, your boss. But no, this Borg cube shot is beautiful.
But how are you going to explain the flowers? Oh, hardly an inconvenience. No problem at all.
Well, one small note, the cube has got this hole that now, on this view, does look like it might be a sphere inside of it.
It does, yeah. I thought the same thing.
Which is weird, because that's not how that works. It's a door that, whatever. Or it might be a hanger.
Modified.
Just looked a bit weird. But I mean, yeah, green's beautiful. Beautiful sphere. And they got it working. Oh, wow. Weird.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not as if it was ever broken. It just, like, had an error. Like, it was never actually broken.
Eugene, 250 rubles. Cube arrival is so visually beautiful and almost perfect, but I hear it. The sounds are from the same sound bank as Reaper sounds from Mass Effect 3 intro. Really?
Yeah, that was weird. Oh, yeah. Literally, when the Reapers come and attack somebody, they go... Vroom.
Oh my good God.
Yeah, it's really bizarre that they literally use that sound effect.
And Ribeye Overdrive says, hey, a port for a spear. Foreshadowing?
Now let's see, can I give you... Okay, let's see. Okay, it'll be on the live stream. But... Okay, so that's the sound that Reapers make.
Okay, yep. Wow.
Yep, it's exactly the same sound. So Discovery Season 1 was stolen from a Tardigrade game. Picard Season 1 was carefully ripped off from Mass Effect.
Using stock footage of other androids from different things.
And Discovery Season 2 was their own invention, which is why it falls down so bad, because it's not a cohesive plot, and they even forgot about red signals until the end, and they said, oh shit, we've got to have her do something quick. But anyway, the flowers appear, and I called it exactly right. What they were, how they were, what they did. Good stuff.
Well, we said animals, but yeah, flower.
Oh, I said flower. Although what's weird here is that, you know how a minute ago that Serena could do this?
Yeah. Now they just want to fly into it.
Why do they stay still and allow it to capture them? Clearly you don't want to be captured by unknown alien life form orchids, so why are you staying still? And a Borg cube appeared, which you would think would be something to think about anyway. This episode should have been an hour and a half or an hour and 10. In rewatching this scene, it falls down so poorly. This entire 2 to 3 minutes, because they skip over so much that they shouldn't have skipped over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Parker, though, throws in $5.
Thank you.
What if the golem is used to bring back Lieutenant Data and Picard is restored, kept alive by Q? Either that or Picard becomes full-on Locutus.
Wow, that's a lot of throwing and stuff.
I never buy for a second that he's going to become Locutus and
Oh
operate the Borg cube.
no.
Um,
No.
as for the golem, we'll talk about that when we get there. There's lots of possibilities for that. But
Yeah. Oh, Borg cube is like Discovery. They never shut the hangar bay doors. That's good.
yeah,
That's good. I like that.
Jarzia, $5.
Thank you.
I want the cube fixed and in a battle next episode. When the flowers attack again, they disintegrated on the shields, and Borg Voice 7 says, "We have adapted."
Well, they won't be fighting the cube. Yeah.
I don't see them attacking the cube.
But yeah, it'll
I thought
be
that was
back.
so stupid how they tried to attack the cube and they hit the corners. It's like, I can see maybe that's why the Borg cube didn't get totally stripped of power.
Yeah.
Because it didn't get fully encompassed.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
So a lot of people have been bitching about that, but I think that's perfect, viable reason.
Although, scaling-wise, the one orchid fits a runabout-sized Letterina, and one orchid also goes on the corner of a 3-kilometer Borg cube, which would be several hundred meters wide. I guess they fired a shuttle-sized orchid and also a carrier-sized orchid that look identical and have no scale properties. Way to not think about that, guys.
I never really considered that, but you're absolutely right.
I'm not against them being able to, like, stretch, but it's just stupid. I love the look of them, though, but they're just flowers, if you know what I mean. They're lovely-looking flowers. They're just flowers.
Ryan throws in $5 Canadian. Going to call a few things. Alton's song, or soon, is lore, which we'll talk about at some other time. And this rumored ancient Sith race is the machine race that modified Voyager. Also, we'll be talking about that in a live.
I love, though, you've had exact conversations that we have had, which is a good sign that we're not mad, because we definitely think those are possibles.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so they get covered by the flower.
And a good thing...
Something I never thought I was going to say in my life.
Yeah, and it's a good thing that Rio smokes, because he can have a lighter.
Yeah. Now, could you please, I think I understand, but could you please explain to me the purpose of these orchids?
I have no fucking clue. I think it's to prevent any harm or anybody attacking the planet, because it encompasses the ship and crashes them. It sucks all the power out of the ship and just makes it a mute point at that point. That's my thought.
And in doing so, they let themselves get burned up in the atmosphere in uncontrolled re-entry.
Yep.
So, do they have abilities? Do they launch them? They haven't got any spaceships, so they're being launched. They're in orbit already, or they're being launched from the planet's surface. How are they propelling themselves? If they are propelling themselves, why can't they propel themselves while in orbit somewhere else? Why would they let themselves be burned up in the atmosphere? If they can, especially if they are burned up by simple atmosphere, so they have no shields and no mechanicals, why can't the Borg cube just shoot their way out? As soon as you start to be taken up, just shoot torpedoes and phasers. Because one single beam should burn right through it. I mean, you've got to be quick, but I mean, the Borg cube especially can just go pew 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 pew. Be easy. Oh, you're muted.
I don't see the Borg cube being taken down by these things into the atmosphere. There was just not enough coverage of the cube. It seemed really weird. That being said, the cube entering the atmosphere was like an epically cool visual. Once it hit the atmosphere and you saw that shockwave, on point. However, a Borg cube impacting the surface would be extinction level event for that planet. It's 3 kilometers by 3 kilometers by 3 kilometers. You know what I'm saying?
And yet,
asteroid smaller can cause more damage.
And yet, not even the hill next to it was at all damaged.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff. Two side comments though. Double guitars with a great point. They did seem like something you'd see in TOS or animated series. That's a great point.
That's the one thing that went through my mind when I saw them. Animated series. They fit right into the animated series.
And Streak 9. Elron, stay on the ship. And out of this episode as well. Street.
Yeah. Rum truffler.
hold on 1 second. X4320. My question is, how fast are these flowers? It took them like 1 minute from being on sensors and catching the ships. And also, they didn't even notice them until they literally were in front of them. We're reading signals that are already right in front of us. Raffi, you suck.
On that little ship. Yeah,
Weird.
Yeah.
It needed like a little fighter to come out of orbit and like drop them as little seeds, you know, and then they grow.
Yeah.
So I'm detecting one ship. What size is it? Oh, it's only a fighter. You know.
Well, Rum Truffler throws in 5 pounds.
Thank you.
That line from Picard about you being turned to violence was weird. Did I misunderstand what he was saying? It seemed really odd.
I missed that line first time.
Yeah, he did say something about.
He says
He
he's
did say something about
surprised.
Hugh resorting to.
Yeah, he's surprised if he had to go to violence, that it must have been a big deal. But it's so throwaway. They don't even mention Hugh properly, and it's like, wow, that's all you're gonna say about Hugh. What a! You just hugged him 4 days ago after reuniting, and he really obviously liked you, and you were gonna be an advocate. He doesn't even ask about the XPs properly or the drones. The episode should have been longer. Give us more time.
Yeah.
Have more conversations in corridors. When you do them right, you do them right. When you do them badly, do them badly. But do them right, please.
Lookout Tower vlogs.
Oh, you can see.
Different than Lookout Tower radio? Interesting. 5 pounds. Hey, Captain and Commander. Data's human bro was illogical in this episode. Captain, you need a Corona beer. I do. And yeah, I refuse to believe that he's one of Soon's sons. Or a son of Soon. A lot of people have said, oh, well, his wife would have known that. Yeah, you know, he could have an illegitimate son. Just saying. So that's not a big issue for me, but I just don't buy it for a second.
And do remember that, which is funny because I say that sometimes, don't buy it for a second. But remember that Sung's wife was an android with memories of the real one. He could have deleted the knowledge of the son from the memory. I mean,
he could also not know that he had a son. He could have did some chick and then she buggered off and he never knew. And then this guy finds out.
No, because he says he talked to me about Data all the time.
Oh yeah, he created Data and he never let me forget it. Yeah. Again, that seems like something snarky like Lore would say, but
it's an aged Lore, as he does not exactly Lore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then they sort of crash.
Yeah.
And why isn't? Well, I guess the Borg cube. The Borg cube for me would definitely have shields still. Like it could take some of the power, but it could adapt. It could be fine. And in fact, you can still see green lights inside the cube. So, because my interpretation is that they did manage to like force. Maybe they chose somehow they were able to control what they disabled and disable its engines. But the Borg cube was able to activate shields or repulsor fields. Because it crashed. It didn't crash. It let itself touch down. So it wasn't broken. It was just shook up. So it didn't, like I say, didn't crash with the full force and come from orbit. Otherwise, I think people would be hurt. So obviously, it wasn't that damaged.
Yeah. And Mole says, if it was Soong's son, why does he look exactly like him? I don't know. Why does Soong's great-great-grandfather in Enterprise look exactly like him?
90 Lancaster, great question. Some have suggested his wife didn't die. She left him.
Yes.
Could have taken the son. I like that. That's really interesting. Bit of a retcon, but not bad. Hi, Stephen DeGamer. How you doing?
Yeah.
So then my question here. So they're in the uncontrolled deceleration with no shields or any sort of protection whatsoever. The flower gets relatively destroyed relatively quickly. And then, while flying through the atmosphere, Picard starts speaking something. Go back to that in a second. You see they're still in motion, and everyone stands up, even though they're now falling at several hundred miles an hour. They stand up and look at Picard with no sense of worry that they're now free falling.
And no internal dampeners because there's no power.
Yep. And then they wake up and they're fine. So.
Yep.
What happened exactly?
the credits or the opening
Titles.
titles happened. But I know. I know. And the thing is, a lot of people assume that I don't know why they assume this, but Picard was linked to the Borg Galactic and was speaking for the Borg. No.
Thank you for
Actually,
coming. I am Borg. What?
when they got when they got enveloped by the flower and he did this, I thought this was the android's way of communicating with them.
Obviously.
You know?
Yeah, that's what it's trying to tell us, yeah.
It was neither. It was his brain, his parietal problem. But they completely forgot about it until this episode, and then it's like, oh shit, we got to make this a thing. Let's double down. He's gonna die soon, guys.
Because symptoms manifest all of a sudden. It's not as if, come on, you can't say high stress situation. He was fine when he did a bloody Borg cube. How PTSD. But being hit, I mean, you said that it's something to do with his heart, which I buy to some extent.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to reiterate here. He's got an artificial heart. Yes. It zapped all power from the ship, including most of the equipment, except for the one little tricorder, which is an old tricorder.
But and obviously the phasers and the
was offline at the time.
Yeah, I assume it's an EMP, isn't it? It's anything that's active goes off. Anything that isn't is fine.
Yeah. So that disruption to his heart, maybe it started again with like whatever, but it could have been resulted in him going in this coma. So anyway.
But if the heart would go down, surely he'd die.
You'd think.
You kind of need your heart, and if it was if your heart was functioning or was failing, why would you suddenly start spouting nothing? It's as if they decided they were going to go psychic and then decided not to. Why is this thing even in here? I don't understand what this means.
This is just it's for that issue that he's dying. This is the only reason it's here.
But I hate the context that everyone's like, oh no, Picard's mumbling. That's more important than we're crashing to our death. Because ships can't survive this sort of crash, you know. Like you have shields for it's like if you go into a battle without shields, you won't live. That's why you have shields. Uncontrolled re-entry without any sort of... I mean, yes, your armor can probably take the heat, but as soon as you crash, hundreds of miles an hour, and they don't care. There's this weird shot of cutting over, and it's just they don't care. Now, is the only possible assumption that the Orchid decelerated them and got them safely to the ground?
It was still attached, so this is the assumption that right before the ground it like softened their fall or something.
Because here's the crash shot, and it obviously hit into the ground, but it's not very deep. Didn't do much damage. There's no trace of the Orchid, so it obviously burned all up. I mean, if it's like a parachute, it helps it down, but it crash landing from the space is quite a bad thing. And if the Orchids are meant to let them be fine, then show that, make it be clear. It was weird. It's just such a weird... Oh, fancy. That's fancy. Look at that. Wow.
It looks very Batman-esque.
It does. It does.
Black.
So that, it just felt... In first watch, you don't notice this because you're just watching it. Second viewing, it sticks out like a sore thumb. Like, wait, why did we skip 10 minutes of scenes? Why did we...
Yeah.
It's weird.
It is. Eugene, though, throws in 250 rubles.
Thank you.
It says not really an extinction level event, which is about mass times speed squared level of energy. Still, impact of 3 kilometers by 3 kilometers cube is at level of a 1,250 megaton nuke.
Wow. And do you think that would manage to destroy a 5-kilometer walk radius?
Yes.
Because that's how far they are.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. So pretty close. It's funny the Orchids got them to a place that was close but not too close. And it's weird that no one seems to even do they know that they've crashed? Do they care? Do they don't? I was expecting a rescue party of androids.
And how did Soji know it was only 5 kilometers away? Like, they didn't have instrumentation. She just knew where the settlement was.
Well, no, they said they scanned it before they all got powered out. No, Raffi said that.
Okay. But
yeah, very, very weird set of scenes when you watch it after the fact. And then wake up, and as you would call her, Miss Murderer.
Dr. Murder.
Dr. Murder. And apparently some of the comments did say that in the books she was actually an MD first, and then moved over. But books aren't canon, so...
Exactly.
So it does feel a bit weird.
let's leave her with Picard, even though she just killed Maddox a little while ago. It's fine. She's better now. We can trust her.
Do you like how he opens a skylight where they're on the first floor of 2?
Yep.
They're not on the ground floor. So there's a ceiling and a floor and a ceiling. Do they realize?
That's technically right underneath the engineering
Yep.
and transporter pad.
Yep.
So, yeah, I know. Don't even start.
I don't understand. This episode makes you remember that Ats Kurtzman's in charge. Do you know what I mean? It's really sad. The show was going well, and then you're like, well, shit, he must have helped write this one.
That is funny that you said it like that. I think that's fucking funny.
And it's sad because we literally have been positive for the last couple because they have got better.
Yes. Yes. Oh. But anyway, yeah, she's like, oh, well, the only thing that was working was this old tricorder, which we'll look at in another episode, guys. We have a video coming out about the tricorder. But so, she ran some scans and said, I thought the tricorder was broken. He's like, oh, really? Why would you think that? And she didn't say anything. He goes, just, I think the tricorder is fine.
And can you tell this actress can only act in one way?
She can only be upset.
Yeah, and it's the same acting every time. She's very non-flexible. This act, they got her so she would like good micro expressions, but it's all she does every scene. She's so boring to watch now. She's so two-dimensional. It's very whatever. But given one bit of credit, we have a hypo spray in the bag with an exactly right hypo spray. You haven't got the perfect still, but there's a hypo spray next to the dermal gel and the tricorder is a fully exact right hypo spray. So good job there.
Oh, there is too.
Unseen
TNG
prop.
Style.
That's perfectly right. But boy, there's concept art of the tricorder. It's much nicer than what they showed. Why didn't she open it? Like, just show us it. You made this expensive prop. Give people the fangasm because it's a decent looking prop.
People don't care about that, Samuel. They want this interesting story that's going on.
Oh, with Picard's black background of nothing and her grey background of nothing. Yeah, we really want these close-ups of people, don't we?
Exactly.
Brilliant stuff.
Yes, we do.
I gotta say, I like Patrick's acting here. He's got this fun bemusement, which I haven't seen him be the whole season.
Yeah.
And then we have the set looks almost destroyed, and you see how bad the set looks. It's like just crap.
Oh, we got a PayPal.
Oh, great. And also, this is so that they crashed and some stuff fell, but it's also totally fine.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Consistency, please. We'll throw one pipe. We'll throw one spinning rolled pipe. That'll be what it'll be. Oh, that's great.
So Joel sends us $5.
Thank you.
Says Commodore O being the head of Starfleet security is the equivalent of Vladimir Putin being in charge of the CIA during the 80s. Was that her on the Warbird at the end? She really gets around. Yes, that was her on the Warbird at the end. And they even called her Commodore in the Romulan fleet, which I don't think there are Commodores in the Romulan fleet. But whatever. We're fine with this. Not really.
Oz is a really great point. Tough little ship. Good. Yeah, that's Serena's a tough little ship. I love that. That's great.
Mole says, please, did Trekyards notice Girardi said the tricorder would not read you? I think I know why. No, she said that it was barely functioning. But
yeah, she said she didn't know how she was going to scan him, and then she found the tricorder, which is old, but it works.
Yes.
And then scanned him.
And found the anomaly.
Yeah.
So never said that she couldn't scan him. She just had no equipment to do so because it was all burnt out.
Although it's funny she says it's quaint, even though it's not going to be more than like 15 years old. And they tell me nothing in her lab is more than 15 years old. What is she going to call her own equipment? This old-timey tricorder, this old-timey spinning thing. You had it 11 years ago. Is it old-timey?
Yeah, but it looks like it belongs, from the design, it looks like it belongs from a different era. But we'll talk about that in the video. First, Magus.
Mac says, the Cube is a tough, big ship. Yes.
Yes.
Good.
Herbsta Magus, $2. The TNG Enterprise D only had one corridor for everything. Yeah, but the way they had a few side corridors too, but the way they filmed it, it felt like different corridors. Why is that even a comment?
I know, but also didn't feel like a cheap corridor. It was well lit. The movement was
Oh,
always
it's
good on
beautiful.
cars. Like it actually felt more.
And they always filmed it from high up, down low, going around this way, going around the other way. There's just different. It felt so much like so many corridors.
And it never got boring, even though it was
No.
bland colours. Here there's just greys and dark greys and blacks and dark blacks and silvers and dark silvers and creams and dark creams and different shade of grey and more grey, and I'll stop talking.
Kabuto fish was in 5 pounds. It's not the actress's fault that Girardi's scenes are the same emotional tone. Don't criticize her range when it is the fault of the writing.
I can only comment on what we've been given.
Kabuto fish, are you the actress that plays Girardi?
I don't think she would be. He would be. It would be.
If so, tell us.
I like the. I mean, I've seen interviews with the actress. She's nice, but yeah. Like I said in our review, she's a story character and not a real character. She's only there to fulfill certain story points. She's not actually a real character, unfortunately. She has no real life, love, history that isn't part of the plot and only part of the plot.
But we get out here and we get the speech from Picard saying, "Yep, I got a problem. It was, I've had this thing for years. There was never any symptoms, so I didn't think about it. But before I left Earth, they said it was terminal and it was gonna, cause, it's gonna get worse. Could have been a year or whatever, but no, it happened right now. So if anybody says anything about me dying, you're gonna really piss me off." Kind of a great speech, actually, from Picard.
Having met Patrick, he actually sounds like that. That's almost the exact same tone, apart from the piss him off bit. That I like. That's sort of fun but formal, but like that's exactly how Patrick talks in a good way. It was a good little speech.
Yeah.
Although as everyone's dying, he has an undiagnosed case, unknown amount of time to live, unknown triggers. Everyone's dying. It's like it's so unknown, and he's also older than most people in the room. So
I really loved Rios's response to it, his reaction to it, though. Got his arms on his hips, and he's kind of like he had the respect that this is Picard. Like, yeah, okay. There was nothing that betrayed how he was feeling. It was really good, actually.
Well, I love the fact they didn't gush. It was a well played scene for what it was. It's just weird it would come in this episode.
Yeah,
and given some weight. Although I just saw a funny thing. So you see how in the background you see the medbay, right?
Yeah.
I guess they opened more skylights because in the last scene, the skylight that Picard and Jurati, and for some reason about a minute and a half later, they opened a lot more skylights, like a ton more. Do you see the difference, Stuart? I mean, even the colour of the light's different. So I guess it's been several hours because the sun's changed position. What the hell is going on?
He's a feeble old man. It took him a lot long to walk from there to them.
But seriously, this is the next little scene, and it looks ridiculously different.
Yeah.
It looks as if one is being lit by skylight, one's being lit by an actual light on set that they chose to keep on, so it's not just black behind Picard or Patrick. Oh, all the sun just came from behind the clouds. No, you can tell it's not being lit from the same angle. I mean, that's just being lit by a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just funny. I just noticed it 'cause it's the only other thing in the scene. But yeah, I like... And then he says, "Everyone report," and he goes to action. And this is him being Picard. However weird the episode is, he is playing Picard in this episode. So all credit to Patrick. And wow, why is there a shot of him wearing black clothes in a black room with a black background? I can colour grade it to not be as black. Why the hell would you think this was a good, smart art design choice?
It looks like Holly from...
Yes! Actually, let me just lower the blacks by a little bit and see if I can look exactly like Holly. Why would you think this was a good idea? That's so weird. Right, there we go. Patrick Holly. Brilliant. Actually works just fine. That's so weird.
So I forget what everybody reports, because Rios is like, yeah, the ship's got no power. I don't remember what anybody else said. Just wasn't important.
No, it's there. The Borg cube crashed. The settlement's close. It's called this. I was born there only recently. Andrew Reynolds. Star Trek is known for using effects, things like explosions, nothing new. Yes, but that's because they always had low. They always run out of money. This one is the most expensive Trek show ever made, with less episodes, less actors, less props, less costumes, less sets, less locations.
They spent it all on holograms.
So,
Holographic.
Not really a good argument when you have the most money. Whereas new shows like Orville, they don't reuse much. Like they even like using less and less the same stock shots of the ship as it goes by. They're slowly updating those.
David Walker says, "This is ridiculous. I'm pretty sure this will be my last time in a Trekyards live stream."
Oh no!
Well, why is that?
That's a shame.
Well, yeah, when people don't agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, we're not being mean. We're just calling out problems. That's all. I said some good stuff too. It's just this. Hey, that's the thing. Last week that we were called out for being too positive because we were very positive. We had nothing negative to say, did we? Last week it was great.
No, that's pretty good. Yeah.
And this week a lot more negative things because it's a worse episode. Gotta judge it as it comes. And Raj says Red Dwarf season 12 coming out in April. Yes, the Red Dwarf feature-length episode movie is coming out very, very soon. I might do a review of that. I don't know if you've seen all 12 seasons. But that could be kind of fun to do a Red Dwarf movie live review.
I've seen most of them. I don't think I've seen the last two.
Because the trailer isn't bad. That's a legit thing. Guys, put in the comments right below now. Yes or no? Would you tune in to watch a Red Dwarf movie live review? At least with me. Maybe I can drag someone else in who knows Red Dwarf well. Let me know, yes or no, right now, and then we'll jump straight into anything else.
Vincent Visions, $5. Yeah. Just got here and will watch later, but curious to hear your thoughts. Here's to solid reviews. Well, thank you very much, Vincent.
It's one of their less good episodes, but not one of their worst. Lots of problems. Pretty good first half, although we're breaking it down. It's actually got a lot of flaws, but it was still fun. Second half lets itself down. The ending really lets it down. And it's stupid. Wow.
And Zartrek puts in... Zartrek, I love that name. Puts in £5. Maybe I got mesmerized by Sutra Part 1. Sutra. Part 1 felt like half an episode. I thought we was 22 minutes in and it finished. Episode 9 and 10 should have been aired together. Yeah. I was kind of mesmerized by Sutra as well.
Well, I was saying...
Easy to remember her name, too.
Yeah. Yeah. And what did you say her first name, the first twin should have been called?
Kama.
So Sutra Kama, the pair.
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. Yep, absolutely. Well, that guy hasn't answered what the issue is, but that's okay.
Guess we had a good answer back to him.
No, he's probably lurking or left, one or the other. But yeah, I mean, people are saying yes, they want you to do the thing because you're a smeghead.
That was overwhelmingly positive. Thank you, guys. Very excited to see that. Yeah, great. Thanks, guys. I'm glad you guys like it. I mean, did you guys enjoy it? I quite enjoyed last season, so I think it'll be fun.
I haven't seen it yet. I need to see it.
It's pretty good. And I really hope they make Red Wolf talk for a second. I really hope they make this season or this movie season really good because the show can never end. You know, it's one of the few shows that's been going since the 80s. Literally. I mean, late 80s, but there's been Red Dwarf in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and now 2020s. No other show's done that. Except like Coronation Street or soaps and such. I mean, that's pretty impressive. And for it still be fun to watch. Maybe not as necessarily as good as the best it's ever been, but I mean, hella impressive. And Stuart, check your Facebook for 1 second. I sent you a little message. Just for intrigue's sake. Just to hopefully make you smile.
Interesting.
Yeah. So they need to leave, and they start leaving. And I don't know why, but I was really struck by the sudden desert. Like I felt out of left field for some reason.
Yep. Me too.
Yeah. I like the CG though. It's nice. It looks good. It's very, very, very CG looking, but it looks nice.
Torres69 puts in $2, 300 watching, 165 likes. Hit the like button.
Yes. Shall we challenge them at 170? I mean,
Oh, we can hit 200 easily. There's 304 people here.
I,
200 guys.
I mean, I think you guys could maybe be the best live stream on the internet right now. And the only way to prove that is by getting 202. See, I upped it. I went even further, Stuart. 202. Click the like button, it's free.
Oh, and Foresight Paradigm says Trekyards, the endless nitpicking show. Fuck's sake. Oh, well. Not for you then, I guess. Go out, watch another channel.
And it's funny because there's been other, like, Trek has done actually a natural nitpick, and there's stuff they did for episode 1 I would never have even called out remotely.
Exactly. He gets too nitpicky.
Yeah, I don't think nitpicking at all, just commenting on reasonably either major to medium things, and a few funny things that you just notice, because some things you just notice. But I try not to nitpick this, because I don't see the point of nitpicking, but commenting on problems is different. I actually like this shot. This crash is great, and this will be really helpful when you build the model of it. Because it's really helpful. It's really helpful.
For detailing and stuff, yeah.
Although it's weird that... it's just the way it crashes is weird. It's also been built around the ship rather than crashing, but that's okay. Do you like how that last week, which was about 3 hours ago, Raffi was like, do you trust her? Do you trust her? Do you trust her? Here's a gun. Please, take a gun in case things attack us while we go to your people that just shot us out the air. That felt... I didn't care. It was like, literally like 3 hours ago, you were like... you remember, you pointed a gun at her 3 hours ago and I give her a gun. That seems really weird.
Yep. I love how she hands in the gun and says, there might be deadly fungi. It's a thing.
That was funny.
Or somebody's crazy ex-Romulan or crazy Romulan ex. Yeah, that's good.
I thought that was funny. I thought Raffi is getting better and better, or at least she's got better.
She has got better, yes.
Just take away the drug addiction subplot. It was terrible. They're just pretty decent. I like her.
David Bessig, $5.
Hey, David.
To the random angry guy, learn to listen to other perspectives. That's what Trek is all about anyways. Thank you, David. Couldn't agree more.
And DX says, if you want to watch a show that gives nothing but praise, go watch Trek Central. And if you want to watch someone that does only negative, go watch Midnight's Edge. There you go. Both sides of the fence, and we're in the middle. Good.
We're what's called the neutral zone, because we're kind of like... Yeah. Mark Lawrence, $5. The majority of the nitpicks are from things real fans of the show wouldn't have gotten wrong in the first place.
That's true.
Uh-huh.
And Death Rattle says, nitpicking is saying the Data's eyes are too bright yellow. Yeah, I wouldn't even consider that. It's close enough, guys. And Streak9 comments back twice at giving her a gun. He's surprised he didn't give Agnes a gun as well.
Might as well.
Might as well. It would have been cool.
She's better now.
Oh, yeah. It would have been kind of cool if they actually saw, like, the things they... I mean, the gun scene is just there. It's almost for padding. I like it, but it means nothing. I kind of wish we had seen almost. Would have been kind of cool if they'd walked back to the synth camp, these creatures had appeared, and then synths had come and, like, stopped them. Hello, welcome to our planet. We saw you crash. You caused us crash. Yes, we did. Welcome. Like, thanks for saving us. That could have been cool.
Yeah, but you need the big reveal to be there.
I know.
Yeah. Anywho.
But we do get a big reveal of the scale of the ship, actually.
Yeah, we do. We get the people outside. Which, it's not big.
No, it's not.
It's not big.
This actually made me happy, this. I like this scale.
I do like it says... Yeah, I do like it how it says La Serena on the side as well. Yeah. Like, anyway. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, yeah, I was just saying I like the scale. And we can see the insides of those glowing bits? I don't know. But I'm pretty sure that all of this is green screen, because the Rios thing is definitely green screen. But the Picard is probably, but yeah, it must all be. But it's pretty well done. But this shot of him looks better. But I think they wouldn't build this little alcove for all of 10 seconds. Maybe this little bit. But yeah, all green screen, because his especially is not well done. I think the black level's wrong. That's what it is. It's nice though. It's nice. Just it's like what? Green screen.
Yeah, Eugene, 150 rubles. In close shots, not CGI bird view, but the ones with the actors, La Serena's paint job looks a lot like N7. Let me guess, Mass Effect.
Yeah, I mean
It's
this shot
this.
especially.
It's the jacket you wear all the time.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's not as warm. And this shot of the side of this shot where they're starting to walk out, like you can see how many grooves there are in the hull. And it's like why are there just plates that are grooves? Like it's just detail for detail's sake, you know? I don't understand what any of it means. There's no warp grills, there's no weapons, there's no anything. It's just stuff. It's weird.
Mm.
I don't know. Oh, and then we cut from easy desert, from very expensive desert-looking desert to LA mountain. It's made me laugh.
Yeah.
It just looks vibe. It's totally different. Just makes me laugh a little bit.
Yeah, and there we see the cube. You can see it is crashed in the water, but there's also a little bit of land there too. So it's if that is people say it's in the water, that's why it didn't get damaged. Well, it's shallow water.
Well,
put it that way.
if that circle is the same space as the maybe sphere went in, then that's like half of the cube is currently underwater.
Yeah, exactly.
Which doesn't look right, but I mean, whatever, doesn't matter.
But then they just happen to have an entrance to the Borg cube that's exactly on the ground level, I guess.
Yeah, I'll mention that when we get to the later scenes he's to see, but this made me laugh. And then they walk into a big open space, which is okay. See, they hide so much by it being very black.
Yeah.
And you can see the cubes. Well, the cubes and cubes I have a problem with, and you can see them framed here, and they're stacked up literally as if they're just stacking boxes. Wow.
Right. You know what really bugs me?
What?
It's the fact that these are people, and there are people in Mass Effect 3. It's such a blatant ripoff. And they walk on two legs. Like, what? Can't you think of anything original, guys?
Yeah. Sorry. Oh, hey, Donnie's finally here.
About time. I'm going to mark him down as late.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, question. Did you actually ever really think they were going to address the fact that Borg drones can survive in space and therefore shouldn't be beamed back?
No.
Okay.
I didn't. I wish they would have, but no. I didn't think they would. Did you?
Oh, no. Of course not. And they didn't even mention it for a second. It was really strange.
No.
Because it's obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Total random reviews. What's in $5 Canadian. Sorry to go back here. Tie-in novel is not canon? Question mark. Is that true? The book makes the show better to watch and makes more sense. Real bummer if it's just true. Well, the Countdown comics, were canon for the 2009 film until they weren't canon.
Although technically speaking, we've been corrected by this. One of the writers said they think of it as canon, which kind of like it was written at the same time with the same script in mind, so it's as close as canon and then decanonized fully.
Yeah, so you can't really consider any supplementary material that's not on screen as official canon, even though they'll say it is, but then in 2 years they'll say it's not because something will contradict what they had written.
Because the first Discovery novel had Pike and had Spock and that was meant to be officially part of the story, and it was a completely different relationship between him and her and Spock. They completely different. So that was decanonized, and obviously all the novels that the Aventine and everything. So no, that it might be licensed, it might be official, it might be. Think of it as your head canon, but no, it's not canon. That's why like 09's so shit, because nothing's in the movie, and you can only judge it by the movie. So if they need the book to make the show better, or like needily better, but what did make the show better though is that Locutus guy is back. He got hired twice.
Locutus, I recognize you, son.
Twice in 2 days. My God, twice in a week. What a funny, stupid, wonderful like scene. Like what a
Ever since you showed up, my world's gone to shit, you bastard.
I was comfortable here, Locutus, then you arrive and the cube everyone gets murdered and it crashes and all my friends get killed. Did you do this? Would have been great if you just hugged him. Like I wanted more. This scene was a thing. I wanted more of this. Something, I don't know. Can I have your autograph, please, Nikins? No, it was great.
Yeah.
It was good.
Eugene, 250 rubles. Yes, I know. I mentioned Mass Effect a lot, but there's a lot of it here. To the level of expecting Marina Search just to pop out of nowhere and saying, "Have you faced a Betazoid commando unit before?" Okay. That's so funny. Scar pads.
Hold on, Marvin asks, Michael Schwann said the Borg transporters were disabled by the Romulans. Well, so was the entire ship. Seven reactivated them. So were all the alcoves. She reactivated them. Do you really think she didn't manage to reactivate the transporters if she had a few seconds? And also, and that's not in the show.
The doors or prevent the doors from opening.
So it's not canon. Yeah, I mean, you know.
Yeah. Scarpads comic Treks, $2. Should have had Picard dancing around like Imud. No, definitely shouldn't have. Just saying.
Another great comment. Paul Johnson agrees with me. He says, Locutus, can I have your autograph? I asked you once before, but you just walked on by.
You were running at the time. Looked like you were in a hurry.
I was. No, it's good.
Is it the same guy now?
It is. Like, it is. Yeah. Same. They hired him again.
And a lot of people have had the issue here of, A, there's power in the Borg cube, which we explained. Those things didn't envelop the cube, so they couldn't have got all the power from it, plus it's huge. And 2, Anti-Trekker and Bird of Prey 5 were complaining that they were trying to get the food replicators back online. Why do they need food replicators? These are Borg drones. They can just plug themselves into an alcove to regenerate. These are XBs. They're deborgified, way more so than 7 ever was. Yes, 7 needed to go into the alcove, but she also needed food. She also needed sustenance.
Because they explained it, yeah. She's the power for her Borg components, the food for her human components. She's the worst of both worlds.
And in Stardust City Reg, they made the point of saying that she's got the most Borg parts that the guy's ever seen, Mr. Vok.
Yep.
So she's a unique case. But yeah, so yeah, the Romulan food replicators, they're saying, why would there be food replicators on a Borg cube? Because the Romulans have been living there for 14 years.
Those are such non-complaints. Wow.
Amazing. I know.
Because the only thing I would have thought people complain about is that, wow, people survived. Because it goes from being, how can anyone survive that?
Shit.
Oh, they couldn't. You walk in. Oh, hey, guys. Everyone's completely fine. And there's power. And there are people. And everything's fine. It's like, well, yeah, in a Borg cube, we just slowed... Borg cubes were taken on everything in the universe. We just turned on emergency reserve power, super zoom thrusters, and we were fine. Because it really does play like, oh, everyone's fine. The cube's a bit battered up. But, like, they're fine. And not enough XPs got killed. I mean, it's a very weird tonal shift of like, nah, it's fine. It's like, oh. But Elnor's sleeves were lost in the crash. Those were some repercussions.
Yeah.
But I'm
you should see the other side of the cube. All the XPs there are just pancaked against the wall.
But I'm absolutely fine. I much prefer that the cube has power. The cube can regenerate. I mean, that makes sense. It makes more sense than being destroyed. I expect the cube to be completely, like, back next week. Seriously. Maybe not the insides, because I can prioritize the insides over the outsides, but yeah, obviously.
Yeah, I can see it taking off, for sure. I love how 7's just kicking Romulans, like, off the thing. Hey, how's it going, guys?
Yeah,
but it was great. Elnor seeing Picard and running up and giving them a big hug. That was awesome. So
I feel like they're trying to set up the Elnor and 7 show because Elnor's not a real character, and he hasn't been enough time. He's just sort of there, but he's almost got more in connection with 7 than he does with Picard. Like if you didn't have the childhood thing, there'd be nothing there between them. That's why you have the childhood thing. But yeah, it was sweet. It was sweet. Well, I don't know about you, but I liked seeing Jerry, but she seemed very not 7 of 9 this week. Like, each episode she's moving further to just Jerry Ryan acting. Like, even her costume, it feels less like 7 somehow. And her hair's more messy. Like, just felt like she was off the... She wasn't using 7s much.
I love her hair. Just saying. It's way better than 7 of 9's ever was. But yeah, I kind of agree with you. Aku puts in £2. Speaking of Mass Effect, Is Elnor a Hanar? Anar?
Yeah, Hanar.
Hanar.
Well, they are
Oh,
honest. Hanhar.
okay then.
Hanhar are great. Seriously, we need to play Mass Effect at some point. You would love it.
I just can't believe they ripped off the fact that it all happened in space. Like, come up with something more original. Fluidic space would be great. Oh, that's been used before. Shit. I don't know.
Oh, what if Elnor and Seven become a couple and have little cyborg samurai babies?
Oh, that sounds so fun. The Adventures of Cyborg Samurai Babies. I love it. Super Coops, I totally agree with you.
What?
Yeah.
But I do like this little conversation scene. I like Picard being like, "It's amazing that the cube's still functioning." Well, yeah. What do you need? What do you need? Sensors? Yeah, it's fine. It's like,
I
dude,
can do that.
Borg cube. Like, it's been 3 hours. You've already got shields, weapons, phasers, transporters. It's like, dude, it's fine. I love it. I love her just casualness. It's nice.
Yeah. Ryan, €5. Oh, sorry.
Well, it was a little bit of a letdown for it to crash and be out of the show because it was an entire season of build-up. So it better be fighting next week with pew-pews.
Yeah.
Better be.
I've heard interest in this show has waned. The show isn't that good.
I mean, our views have gone down. Our live viewership has gone, like, for the middle anyway. I would agree. I think people saw it, didn't want to watch more. Now they're coming back because it's the end again, and they got better. But yeah.
That being said, we have 334 right now. Everybody hit that like button. That's an awesome number. So thank you guys and welcome.
Thank you.
Paul Johnson, £10.
You're awesome, Paul.
Do you think it will ever be explained why Soji was sent to the Borg Cube to find out the truth about the synth ban? Zot Vash are there only because she is. Borg have had no impact on the story. Yeah, it makes no sense sending her there. I don't know what the plan was. I don't think we'll ever get an explanation, unfortunately. Welcome to Al Kurtzman's writing.
So they wanted a Borg cube for the trailer, and they said, "How do we put a Borg cube in this show?" And they said, well, we need sensors at the end, so let's bring the Borg cube with us. And Jerry's in it. And they need something to shoot at in the last episode, so they kept the Borg cube functional. Yeah, I mean, it's so bizarre. It really is why Soji was there. And as I said before, she doesn't learn what everything's about. Agnes brings information because of Picard. And if Picard had not gone to O, had instead gone to Janeway... Oh, sorry, if Picard hadn't have gone to Cornwall? No.
Clancy.
They got close. If Picard hadn't have gone to Clancy, who then told O, who then went to Agnes, if he'd just gone to Janeway, got a ship, got Soji, got him back, they wouldn't have known. So, coincidence allowed her to know.
It would have been a better story.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, it's very strange. It was a very nothing... I mean, there was definitely a reason for Narek to be there, very strong. But Soji, no, not really.
Dean Lee throws in €5.
Thank you.
Love from Spain, that is all. Please
Aww.
continue, we love. Well, thank you very much, Dean.
Dude, thank you so much. That's actually really nice. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And stay safe, good luck. We know it's a little worse in mainland Europe right now. Or it's getting worse here by the minute sort of thing, but
London
good luck.
London just declared a state of emergency now because we had like 11 new cases or whatever. Anyway, long story. Lexstrom, $5. Thank you very much. So the Cube XBs are going to take out whatever the admonition summons. Thus, the outcasts save the world. Yep, that's exactly what's going to happen. You're absolutely right. The victims will become the saviors.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I think so. But anyway, we get long-range sensors back online, and what do we discover? 218 Romulan warbirds on their way. They're going to be here in about 2 days, and Rios is like, "That's a lot." He's like, yeah, well, it's only the first 109 we have to worry about.
Do you understand that as a reference?
Well, it's just she just divided the number in half. We have to worry about the first half of them, and then we'll be dead. So, yeah,
Okay.
it was just a smart ass answer because it's Raffi.
I like this. This is why the Borg cube's there. This is the whole reason. And I like the fact that even long range sensors, they can still detect the exact shape of the ships. Although what makes me laugh is if you look at the screen, Raffi's looking at the actual ships. Rios is looking at like 6 straight in front of him. It's like he has the entire sea as if he's looking at ships, but like they didn't give him eye line properly. So he's like, it's like if the camera's here and I was like looking here, it's like, yeah, Stuart, yeah, oh yeah, I'm looking at you. It's like you're not though, babe. That's what
They've done a few eyeline issues in this show so far.
That's why if they had not holograms, it would be better and cheaper and easier and simpler and more cost effective.
and better and it just I don't know. It's in second viewing. It's just funny to see Rose like completely misses eye line, looking at nothing. I like the scene.
Ryan throws in €5 and says none of it makes any sense because it's Kurtzman Trek.
It's getting close to that, yeah.
Yep.
And we've been damn positive and like hopeful, so yeah.
But then Soji goes to her room, finds a picture of her and Daj. They graduated, I guess. And then it's time to leave.
And this made
Don't
me
you know?
laugh. That, well, she managed to get to her quarters without turbo lifts or power, pretty much, in a 3-kilometer cube. Also, isn't all of her furniture gone? I thought she had more furniture than this.
People are saying your mic sounds a lot quieter now since you like ASMR'd into it. So I don't know if you have to adjust it on OBS. You sound the same to me, but while you're working on that, I'm going to read this.
Okay, that's weird.
Leon McGinnis, £5.
Thank you.
So hope they don't blow it, but probably find out. AK, what? AK tied to Disco. Tied Disco in, and Control is the descendant of Whopper. Ended with Picard challenging it to a game of chess. What is AK?
I don't know.
And
I don't know. Leon,
Whopper.
Leon, put that as a non-super chat and we'll reread it without the abbreviations, because we don't know what you're saying there, but I can't work out.
And Trace, $5.
Thank you,
Although my
Trace.
interest in Picard is waning, I enjoyed tuning into your breakdowns. You guys keep it balanced. Check out The Expanse when you have the time. Yes, we will.
Thank you.
And look out, Tower Vlogs. Puts in £2. Rios needed to activate the ECH. LOL.
The pips. That'd actually be quite cool.
Yep.
Oh, AK that's Kurtzman. Oh. And what does Warwick mean?
Whopper.
Oh, Whopper is the computer from War Games. Okay.
Oh.
Ah. So read it again, Stuart, with context.
No, I don't want to. Leon, so hope they don't blow it, but probably find out Alex Kurtzman tied Discovery into the Control, is a descendant of Whopper. War Games, ending with Picard challenging it to a game of chess.
Yeah,
There you go. That would be awesome. Not.
that's funny.
Yeah. Anyway, everybody's saying goodbye, and Eleanor's like, "Oh, this is so sad. We're saying goodbye. I might never see you again." I love Picard's advice. Yeah, well, that can be said for any two people that are saying goodbye. It could be the last time, but it's different. You're dying now.
Jirachi, you tattletale.
Yeah, it's like, how did you know? That's another thing Anti-Trekker and Bird of Prey couldn't figure out. Clearly, Girardi said something.
Well, to be fair though, they watched it, did an instant live without processing it, and was very late at night, so their brains aren't working fully at that time of night. Whereas we've both
do a review.
Huh?
And don't do a review.
Well, And this is the shot that makes me laugh because. So this is the outside of the Borg cube that they happen to find an opening point that is exactly floor level with the ground, and a perfect hole with cube pieces. I don't think the armor is that thin, and it's perfect, and it's not any angle or anything, and it's just like it looks just so stupid.
Yeah.
Something about it
Well,
just looks stupid.
I think they're foreshadowing something here because Seven says, Picard, keep saving the galaxy, and he's like, "That's your job." And then he turns, exits the door, and it's literally a bright white light. Like, don't go into the light, and it like encompasses him, and it's so bright that he disappears. It's very symbolic of he's going to die. And she's kind of he's passing the mantle off to her.
That's really interesting, actually. That's really, really interesting. I
noticed it first time, like, oh, geez, really?
I think that probably that'll be the last time they ever meet, which is why that's. I hope not, obviously. I'll say it again. I would not mind at all Seven show. I think she's got a lot to offer. Just make her lose some of the American accent because it's really distinct this time.
You say that, but David Bessick throws in $20.
Oh, dude.
Thank you, David. Still wanting to know if there is a deeper Romulan Borg connection here. I love it. Why? In Star Trek Legacy, the Borg were made by a mad Vulcan scientist in league with Romulans, and it all gets out of control quickly.
Yeah, that's a fun video to watch for sure. Well, put it this way, they completely forgot that there were hundreds of scientists working aboard the Borg cube studying technology. So I don't think there's a deeper meaning, because they already forgot about stuff they already set up. What's the grey sector? Nothing. You might get sent by Borg.
Yeah, the grey zone.
No, you won't. They're fine. They help people. No. No. No, no, no. No.
Yeah.
No. No.
Anyway, we get the building, the complex, whatever you want to call it, and see them all there. They walk in, and this is this great reveal of this utopia. This is very 1960s TOS.
It's good.
Clothes wearing.
It's good stuff.
It's good. I don't know if I call it good. I love TOS, but goddamn. Watching the costumes in that show, it just makes me cringe, man. Some are fine, because they're...
See, for me, this is like the episode restarts again. This is where you think it's going to go, and finally back here again. I think it's great. This bit was great. I thought it was interesting. Everyone's obviously twin actor. They hired twins. Although, one thing that annoys me, and it might be intentional, but I really don't think it is, there's this pan of all the actors on the hill, and every single one of them's out of focus. Like, badly out of focus. Like, really badly out of focus. So my assumption is they might have... there's sort of weird music, as if it's ethereal, but I just think they didn't get focus on this shot. And it's a bit embarrassing because it's really bad. I mean, Rios especially, it's really bad.
Well, to be fair, that was a pan across, and I tried to get everybody's face. So I don't know if it's just because it was movement.
Yeah, but in most films you don't notice pans because they keep them in focus.
Oh.
I just noticed it was really awkwardly done. But I like the colony. I like all the colours. I like the people. I don't know why I was surprised, but I was surprised at the fact that the makeup is actually gold skin and eyes. I was like, oh, nice. Or at least some of the makeup is gold skin and eyes.
The Trembler throws in $5. Want to emphasize how much I enjoyed this episode up to now, and still do, despite the problems you've pointed out. Yeah, I enjoyed it up to here too, and then we see Brent in a minute, and that was also not a good moment. But yeah, this is kind of where it goes away for me.
And I absolutely enjoyed it as well. I think I've found more flaws in this analysis, but I enjoyed it up to this point, definitely. Yeah.
Eugene, 250 rubles. Anton Ignio Soong, AI Soong. Oh, there you go. Ooh. Too much on the nose or completely random, or asks Kurtzman.
Well, F8. I mean, you can't get more on the nose.
Fate.
If you tried.
But he also says that he's a body guy, not the brain guy for the androids. So artificial intelligence doesn't really suit this soon, unfortunately.
Yeah. But then you meet Lady. Didn't write her name down. And I gotta say, I like her acting. It's weird and fun. It's not Data acting, but it's weird and fun. I like it. Good casting. I think trying to be a British accent. I think. Wasn't
I don't
American.
know, but she's not very bright. That's for sure.
Well, they've been sheltered here. They're all under 14 years old, right? So they're new to the world. They've only ever met each other. They've only got one small colony. Yes, and I need to go to the toilet because I've had lots of this other stuff. So I'm back in a moment, but yeah, I've got a general picture about this scene. I guess I'll get Brent on so you can bring up. Well, there's the wrinkles scene, and then I'll put us on Mr. Spiner, Mr. Brent.
I'll talk about the wrinkle scene. Yeah, so she automatically recognizes Admiral Picard and goes over and asks permission to trace out his wrinkles, and because she's never really seen wrinkles, I guess, before, except for on Soong and Maddox. But anyway, it's almost like she's gonna poke him in the eye. I thought she was called Saga. No, I don't think so. But yeah, then we hear a familiar voice, and here comes Mr. Brent Spiner, which is great to see. I really wanted some kind of, I wanted it to be Data, but in a new body. I thought that would have been great. However, the twin is Saga. Saga might be that twin's name, I'm not sure. But yeah. So we find out this is just another son of Soong, and he makes the point, yes, he created Data and he never let me forget it, which was quite interesting. Turns out her British accent is because she's from Bournemouth. Oh, well, there you go. I just don't want to get too far ahead of here without Samuel here because, Jana and Sutra are the twins. Yes, Jana and Sutra are the twins. But there are other twins. They're all twins. So, Data's mom said they never had kids. Like I said, it could be an illegitimate son that he didn't know about from another woman, or that he did know about. It could also be that she was lying. Things happen. Or it could be that this is not actually one of Soong's sons, but is actually something else, which we will talk about in another episode. Or another live, because I have a theory or two about this. So, did they ever show the twin of Beautiful Flower? I don't think they did. I don't think they did either. So yeah, I don't know. If it was the android mother, that memory could have been wiped. Absolutely. Yep. So yeah, the memory could have been wiped for that. You're absolutely right. Hello.
Well, yeah, I said that the mum's actually a robot, so therefore they just didn't to keep the son safe, because the dad is a fugitive. They just wiped the memory of the son in the mum's memory banks.
Yeah.
There you go. Sorted. It's a retcon, actually.
Well, and again, it could be something he didn't know about, which is also...
Well, he knew about it, but she didn't. Because he talked to the son, so...
That's true.
Yeah. Only the mum didn't. He worked with the... I mean, he wouldn't have had a passion in cybernetics unless he worked with his dad in it. I mean, it must be father... I wouldn't even be surprised if this was another show, I can imagine them doing a really cool thing whereby we actually use footage of Data and Law finding Soong, and then it cuts to it pans to the side and there's young Brent being like watching Law kill his dad, and he's like, and then, you know, the classic go back and de-age flashback stuff.
The Trembler throws in $5. Sung Jr. sits poorly in gaps in Sung's backstory. Worked in same field and talked to him about data made shortly before entities attack. And then it continues. He says another $5. And worked with Maddox, but unknown to Picard, and didn't contact Data after he became famous. All possible, but together I don't buy it. And he goes on to say another $10. Thank you. Honestly feel Michael Burnham fits better in Spock's past than Sung Jr. in Sung's, partly because Vulcans are established as avoiding personal topics. If backstory is fake, good. Yep, I kind of agree with that. I don't want it to be just another son that we didn't hear about. That's just kind of dumb.
Because it is very strange to think that he didn't contact Data within like 50 years. Or Law, or B4. Although he must have at the end, because he did know Maddox. So I'm assuming that maybe he was in hiding. Couldn't talk to Data because he was too dangerous, whatever, like he was still at risk. Then came out of hiding when B4 was found and said and met Maddox and tried to help him then. Because they had B4. But I mean still, bit of a stretch.
Yeah. Jarzia, $5. The android pairs we know are Daj and Soji, Jana and Sutra, Arcana and Saga, and Rune and Codex. There's probably a pattern to the names. Don't know what it is, though.
I don't think they do either.
No.
Oh,
yeah, Saga. I guess Saga's the girl that got stabbed in the eye.
Yes. And Ribeye Overdrive says, wait, shouldn't Sung Jr. be in his 30s or 40s? Did I do math wrong?
No, because he would have been older than Data, probably. And Data was... he went through Starfleet Academy.
I think he was 40... No, he was like 17, I think, by the time...
I thought he was older than that.
Maybe he wasn't much older.
Paul R. throws in €1.
No, he'd be in his 60s. Should be in his 60s. I mean, should be Brent's age, I mean... I would assume, roughly, anyway. But yeah, the wrinkle scene I don't mind. Makes sense later on. I like the fact that she knows who Picard is, because that means there's some instinctual memory of Data in all of them. Although then it's weird they wouldn't trust Data. Like they wouldn't trust Picard at the end. Like they ignore him so easily. But if all of them have this instinctual trust of him, you would think that'd play a part. Maybe part 2. Otherwise, why have this be a thing? You know.
Yeah.
But they keep throwing in things that don't matter, it seems. So, yeah.
Yep.
But yes, Brent Spiner. And I was legitimately like, I was right, I called it, it makes sense, he's back. Yeah. And it was nice. I think I clapped out loud.
I just wish it was better than...
Yeah, I mean, it's as normal... realistic as you can get without going into like more data de-aging or weird stuff. Like it's easier to grasp, but yeah, it could be Data. Would have been Data or Law or something. It would have been better if it was like his cousin. Honestly, Sung's brother's son. Yeah, oh yeah, Sung was my uncle. Why did he never speak about his brother? Why would he? We never, you know what I mean? That makes more sense to me. Or adopted uncle, whatever. But I just happy to have Brent back. You know, well, I do think his acting wasn't particularly adventurous, although knowing how Brent acts, that's not how Brent acts. So he's actually acting a personality. I kind of got very slight vibes of the scientist of Independence Day 2, like the way he played that guy a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
But he's sort of the unsure of himself version, because he's now played lots of versions of himself. Like, I really liked how he played it in Enterprise, which is very different to this guy, although the family thing still very much, he's pulling from himself there of, you know, my children. But he's sort of unsure of himself, he's obviously a recluse, he's not a confident man. Which is interesting, actually.
Ensign Ricky throws in $2. Hey. Welcome, Ensign Ricky. Says, sup, guys? Trekyards for life.
Woo! Yeah. And Zachary Gibbons says, it has to be Law. What other explanation is there, Samuel? or the one they gave. But yeah, the law thing. I mean, have you talked about that already, or did you wait for me to come back?
Just waiting for you to come back.
I mean, please give this, because it is a great theory. And as soon as you said it this morning, I was like, oh yeah, that should be the plot. I hope it is.
Yeah, because the way his lines were delivered, the things he said, even Sutra, the way she acted, was very lore-like. And I think it might be possible that he's found a way to. Well, if he's like Data could age. They made a point of saying that. So this could, in fact, be lore. This could also be found a way to get into another body somehow, and he's improved the process with this golem that we see later. But he very much seems like lore, and that would make perfect sense, given how fast Sutra, after seeing the vision, mouth, which is stupid, but anyway, turns to get rid of all synths, or all organics, carbon-based units, whatever. Because as we know in Descent Part 1 and 2, Lore and the Borg were trying to eradicate all other life, basically.
He found his purpose.
So it actually ties...
Yeah.
Yeah, it actually ties in with that. And the way these lines are delivered and the things he says very much reminds me of Lore. And Lore's not been mentioned once. So it would be an interesting reveal, but it's that thing you talk about, Samuel, if something gets introduced and what it has to be used later, you think they would have mentioned Lore at some point, unless they really wanted to pull one over on us and not mention it at all. And it's like, oh, surprise, we knew about Lore.
They didn't hint there was going to be a Sung, though. You know, there was no hint. I mean, if you hadn't have seen...
But they mentioned... They never mentioned Lore. But they mentioned Sung a few times already in the series.
Well, yeah, but not...
They didn't mention Lore at all.
But they didn't mention Lol either, and there should obviously be a Lol reference at some point. Like, even, it's funny, in the Ready Room episode with the lady who played Daj, she mentions Lol very quickly. She's seen the episode. Why is there never mention of Lol in it? Very strange. Very strange. But I have a comment I want to read out. Colin Barrett asks, or how do you know who Picard was without supposedly having never met him? Because he would have kept tabs on Data and know Data's captain for 20 years and the one that he died with and then became to be more famous. I mean, of course you know who Patrick Stewart Picard is. Like, if you keep track of the news, you know who he is. Plus, everyone, I mean, I'm sure you get access to... If he made Data...
Plus, Maddox knew him and they worked together.
Yeah. Yeah, and if he had engrams of Data to make more Data-style robots, then it might have been to, like, decode that information and see memories and therefore see Picard. I mean, Picard's pretty famous. I mean, he might not know who, like, was it Ensign Ricky, but Ensign Wesley Crusher is, but, you know, it's not a problem to know who Picard is. But I do like their interaction for the most part. It's very much real. Like, he's like, oh yes, I'm old and grizzled, and we are, and... No, it's nice. But it does show you, though, that even though it wasn't the original intention, we did get 3 of the original... We got 4 of the TNG actors back this season. That's a lot. That's actually a lot considering. All we are missing is Worf and Gates and Geordi, and then obviously we've got the extension. But that's actually, I mean, considering those are the primary cast. I say Worf is the next highest missing. That's half the cast they got in the season. So good for them. Good for them.
Yeah. Paul R. €2. Strangest Trek episode I've ever watched.
Oh, have you seen Journey Home, Al Moraine? I mean, please, DS9.
Those are bad episodes, not the strangest.
I mean, it's pretty strange.
Yeah. Jeff Jacobs, $2. Pretty sure the twins' names are antonyms. Probably.
There's probably some logic. Yeah, if there wasn't.
Ensign Ricky, $2. Pretty much every Sung we see has ulterior motives. That's true.
That's interesting. That well, I mean, he turned villain quite quickly, so I mean, his ulterior motives are the exact same as the original Enterprise Sung, so not much of a stretch there.
Yeah.
But yes, did you do a mission? Yes, good to see you again. Yes, blah blah blah. And then the whole apology, and Sung's like, no, it's okay, it's okay. Blah blah blah. And
look at all the thunder and lightning around us. You heard the occasional thunderclap, you saw the occasional lightning in the distance, but it's like...
Yeah, they choose to shoot not against the sky, so they don't have to CGI clouds in, because these are very CGI clouds on the real mountain place.
Yeah, yeah.
I do like the set, though. I'll give them credit. They found a good building.
Yeah.
I think I had a good set. Give them credit for that.
Well, then we get introduced to Sutra, which is this, as I call her, a sexy Soji.
Her thin-waisted costume.
Mm-hmm.
Why is Picard drinking alone in a little garden thing?
I don't know.
Like, surely any number of androids would be talking to him because they're like, oh my god, you're Picard, you knew Data, tell me about Data. Nope, leave him alone. I felt that a bit weird. But whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we find out that Sutra is the twin of Jana, which is the one that got shot by Rios' ex-captain. Yeah, so she lost her twin. So she's been living with her twin for all these years, which is one of the reasons people have speculated that she might have gone a little nutty. But
yeah, that's what the lady who plays her said. That's why she's different.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, you haven't watched the Radio Room yet, but she goes into that quite a bit. It's like, imagine being in a world where every single person that you know, except, although in a sense, Maddox and Thingy were twins in terms of knowledge and expertise. You could sort of say that. And all of a sudden, you're the only one to lose your other half, who you were born with, who you've known your entire life, who you experienced everything with, and we keep being shown them play together, all different twins. And now you're one of two people in this entire community that doesn't have a twin. We're never shown the other dude. And how do you live when your entire lifestyle has been ripped away from you? And do you resent those that killed them? Yes and yes, apparently. So it's a good motivation, to be fair.
And Trooper 116 says, I wonder why they made two sets of twins that look the same. Probably because I think Sutra is an older model because of the gold skin and yellow eyes. So she's not... I think she's more android than synth organic. Like Soji and Dodge are like the improvement, the latest... kind of that over the threshold to more organic twins.
That's the real question, though, isn't it?
Yep.
There's a real variety here. For the most part, the hero androids we see are actually Data lookalikes, but there's lots of background extras that just look like humans. So yes, my assumption, and I kind of prefer it if all of the androids look like Data androids, but they made Soji, especially in Daj, to then... just like Data's mum, android, looked human. Data could look human. I mean, Data looked like a bloody Romulan in one episode, and he could look not Data. He chose to look like Data. But yeah, I mean, if you make iterations, I think she does mention, if I recall correctly, that the actress that plays both these roles said that this society is androids that making more androids. So I think this might be the original androids, and they made more themselves, and they chose to make them look non-android for some reason. Whatever. But yeah, different generations might be the inclination, which is why she's one of the oldest. She might be the first one because Data's daughter. And yeah, lots of concerned faces and lots of whatevering, and
this is where we learn that that's a brilliant idea. That emotion you saw drove you crazy. So let's let her, Sutra, who's studied Vulcan culture, now let's have her perform her mind meld. That's a brilliant idea. Yay. I have issues. Yeah. Why are you back so far from the camera?
Oh, just so people can see my expression and my body language of what. Yeah, it's dumb. I said to you in our review that, okay, if you break what a mind meld down, what is it really? It's somebody connecting neurons to neurons through skin contact. So, if an android knows what that is scientifically and can control their body enough, they could probably do it too. Because what is psychology, what is psi powers except just neurons firing? So theoretically, yes, you could create one that could do that if you understand it to the molecular level and biology. But really, you need to have basic psychic abilities to be able to do it. That's the entire point. Like, a human can't learn to mind meld. They just can't. It's incapable of doing it. But if you look at it as a purely biological thing, the androids sure, but it's definitely a bit of a leap. It's definitely
It's a lot.
we need to get this to happen, so let's do that. I mean, what do you guys think in this in the chat? Let us know. Put down like it or dislike. Just like or dislike, okay? Just I want to know. I want to know.
While they're doing that, Eugene put in 500 rubles. I'm sorry, Captain. So, Sutra has Protherian cipher.
Yeah.
Therefore, disregard that. We've got Midnight's
Mass Effect.
Edge, Midnight's Edge art,
Mass
Midnight's
Effect
Edge plot,
art.
and now we got Midnight Edge means. This effing Shutterstock droid with cheap art slapped on it. I noticed that, which right away, as cheap as Tally face reveal.
Yeah.
Sure.
So there's a character called Tally who has got a mask for the entire 3 games, and at the end, if you romance her, she shows you her, like you see the face of her in a picture, like on a bed, after you do stuff with her and you choose her, and it was just literally a stock photo from a photo company of woman. They just took it off a stock footage and not even cut. I think they changed like the background to be a planet, but it's like this alien life form is just a lady from stock footage. And the lady was like, "Oh wow, they used my likeness. The hell? I guess I'm this character now." And people were like, "Wow,
That's
hell."
right.
Yeah, very strange.
A lot of people dislike it.
Awful scene. Dislike. Hate. Dislike. Doesn't. Oh, I thought I was gonna say doesn't JJ with me. And yeah, someone say nerve pinch. Yeah, nerve pinch is different from mind meld. Nerve pinch is strength plus knowing where nerves are. That's fine.
Yep.
Yeah. I think this is the same thing as their misunderstanding that the Borg can survive space. People can't do mind melds unless they've got psi abilities. Unless you say that they genetically made her psi ability able, which I'm not against, because they made butterflies, cats, and they made plants that can deactivate spaceships. So if you can make plants that deactivate spaceships, then if you think about it that way, it's not the end of the world that they can also develop them to have psi abilities. Just saying.
Yeah, I guess. Holy shit. All right. Lexstrom puts in $5. When Lau was dying, Troy felt her fear.
Really?
Well, she also felt Data had emotions in Descent, Part 1.
And never apart from that, yeah. But there was reasons for that. I'm intrigued, lol, though.
Space Boy 78, $5. Sutra stayed at a Holiday Inn Express on Vulcan. That's how she learned how to mind meld. Love the channel and keep up the great work, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And Mark Henson says, I don't think it's a problem. So an android could read minds. So what? How's that any screwier than any other silly concepts? Well, because it breaks the universe of the show. And if you break the universe of the show, then why should we keep following? Because if it breaks the logic of the show, then what's the point?
Yep. The Trembler puts in $5.
Hey, killing it, man.
Should have said adapted or augmented to mind meld would be fine. P.S. My android female engineer in STO is called Saga. Word to see an official one. Word to see an official one. What? Good choice on name for your character, but Ensign Ricky, $2. In my opinion, the biggest downfall of Picard is the budget.
Yeah. Which is the highest ever, yeah. Weird. Or Sintra says Spock did mind meld with 2 AIs, Vidra and Nomad. Yeah, but he was psychic. So Mark says it doesn't break the show. It doesn't, but it hurts the universe. And at a certain point, the universe just falls apart.
Mm-hmm. But we get more of this vision now from a different perspective.
Yes.
And
no, hold on. First, Rios tries to stop her from mind melding because he loves her.
Yeah, and says, you're just getting better. It's fine. Yeah.
And her acting face, again, the sad face, it's her one tone. But I'll give them credit. I like the payoff that it's not a warning. I like where they went with that. I'll be honest. So take us through because we got exposition dump scenes, Stuart. What do we get?
Well, we've seen a lot of this before, but we get
Voiceover.
lots of stock footage of robots being assembled and talking about how biologicals always get to the point where they want to create perfection, so they start creating artificial life. And yeah, then stock footage that morphs into data, more stock footage of literally, I've seen this in Ancient Aliens more than once, this fucking white robot. But now it has a delta on it, so it's fine, I guess. I just think that's so lazy. Sorry, it's just so irritating. But then the delta is in her eye, and that's important. Saying the Federation is evil. And then we hear about biologicals and how they age and how they get jealous of artificials. And then we see the same stock footage of a wolf that was in the 9 Inch Nails video, which is from like 1975.
Very graphic, though.
Yes.
Horrible.
And then we probably have stock footage of war happening.
Yeah, it was weird. One shot of some people with laser guns. It's like, what?
Yeah. And then, they'll eventually destroy themselves, and we see the synth attack on Mars. Yeah, some nebulas, and then the signal array thing that they need to signal the artificial intelligence cleanup crew with. I don't know. Or the biological cleanup crew?
Or the genocide party, as we like to call them.
Yeah. We get shots of the Romulans also that killed themselves, the planet exploding, and like big time exploding, and that was the end.
Great explosion.
Yay!
I really liked the way that
Yay.
when we finally see the entire planet, it's very good explosion.
Oh, it's very
It's
very
so
well
quick.
done.
It's graphic. You really get a sense of it.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think now of all the full announcement release, plot stuff? Because now we hear it we hear the full vision as it's meant to be. Meant to be, yeah.
I didn't feel anything here nor there. I just find it funny the way that she reacts to it, and basically on a dime says, "Yeah, you biologicals all suck." Again, very, very lore-like. I don't know. What did you think of seeing this vision through her eyes?
Well,
with the delta.
Well, I mean, I don't know. You don't know if it's stock footage until you know it's stock footage. So for me, it was just visuals. I liked the silver robot dudes on the side that were like in suits. I thought that was kind of a nice visual. I don't know. It wasn't her talking. It was the vision talking. That's why they said it was like in a third person. We'll come and help. So it was interesting to hear all processed, but it was very obviously very Mass Effect, very Reaper-y. Just the idea that yes, we'll make synthetics, and then they want to kill us because we're too perfect, and they'll age. And then when you talk to us, we'll come and annihilate all of them for you because lol. So how many galaxies has this group annihilated then? Is that happened to the first Federation? They were annihilated by synthetics from outside of our galaxy. It's like, wow, okay, that's harsh. Yeah. I mean, they reveal more later on. I mean, it was fine. I liked hearing it. And I thought it was going to lead something different, something positive.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get there when we get there. Because I didn't know stock footage, so didn't affect me in the same way. But yeah, and then we see the butterfly. I like to see with Data with Brent anyway. The butterfly's cute. I like it. Nice idea. Miss butterflies. I like his acting here, although it comes across as someone who's given up on humans in general. So he's like, you suck a bit. You killed him, my best friend. She's like, I know. It's like, you could really redeem yourself. But I'm disappointed in you. It's, what I mean? It's weirdly played. I'd love to have heard the direction for this.
Yeah. Yeah. Stop right there for a second. The Trembler, $5. This is message 1. Oh, no, that's not. He's got 2 points.
You're killing it, man. You're killing it. Thank you. Anyway.
1, I can accept that personally known imagery affects the vision.
Yes.
And 2, how will these ancient droids view or classify the Borg? And I meant weird, not word. Huh? Oh, the last thing he said. Where is that? Weird to see an official one. Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Borgs are, they're organics that are being controlled by an AI. They're not either, really. They want to be like Data, but they never do get to be like Data, so they're not there yet.
Yeah.
Plus, they're one-dimensional in terms of like they're just a plague, and believe me, they're doing enough genocide for the synths. They're probably like, those are our best friends. They're killing half the population of Delta Quadrant even without us. Although, do you think like Species 8472 could take on these synth people because they're very powerful weapons? Like, they can also destroy a planet with 6 ships pretty easily in seconds. Maybe they'll come back in.
Maybe.
Chorus says, it's amazing that Control wiped out the future galaxy but didn't find this world and contact the synthetic life to come in. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Control. Yeah. Best plot in Star Trek.
No, stop it. Anyway, so yeah, he's working on this golem, which is a body which he's hoping that he can transfer mind into, and he says there's rather some urgency. So I guess he's dying or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. Again, kind of a hint that maybe Picard will end up in this thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, but he even says, I'm not a body. I'm a body guy. I'm not. He doesn't say brain guy. He says
body. Oh, like the neural net stuff, but with a different word.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So he's more than just a body guy. And later, when the other chick gets the thing in her eyeball, he's like, "Your eye. I don't care about you, but your eye. My God, I worked so hard on the eye."
This is my best.
I thought that was
a
little off, but whatever.
But because he's think about his persona. He's been stuck on this self-isolated island or this planet. All of his work, although I assume he helped Maddox rather than the other way around, because he never, whatever. You don't get a sense that he ever worked with Maddox beforehand, but he's here creating these people who he obviously think of him like the guy from Enterprise. He values augmented humans over people. He values androids over people because they're his children. He wants them to survive, and obviously, like I said in the scene, and I like that he wants to be able to put his own brain and survive. And obviously, this lady, I forgot her name for some reason. What's her name? Girardi knows that, and she's like, I want to help him survive this future storm. And I like that. It's like he knows he's dying, and so or you can help me do this. Although, what does a golem mean? Like I say it as if I don't know what it means.
A golem is just a human-like figure that you can control, essentially, or put your wishes, your motivations onto. There's movies about golems. Like
I've heard the name, but it's weird they just didn't give it an actual sci-fi name. Like, cause it's such a non. Like they should have opened up and it was like Brent de-aged. Like if he knows he's going to go into it, why would he not finish the body?
Yeah, and Hezrez says a golem is from Jewish legends, so there you go. It's a mud figure that comes to life. You put like your wishes. I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah, I've heard bits
up on it, but yeah, there's movies about them. So anyway, Jarzia sends a $5 PayPal.
Okay.
Neural interfaces are a thing, which are essentially a technology that reads minds. If Sutra hadn't had a bunch of glowy blue dots and put her hand on people's heads to read their thoughts, it would be fine. But no, they distinctly say she learned to mind meld. That's the problem. It's not a tech of a natural biological ability. It's just anyone can do it if they try hard enough.
Yes.
That's kind of how it was implied, yeah. But considering she is organic or synthetic, I mean, it could be that, there's readers in her I don't know. Whatever.
I mean, it wouldn't have taken much. It would have been nice if Sung, rather than what he had said, had time to go out saying, "Oh yes, I programmed in her neural readers so we could communicate sometimes, and she could talk to animals. She thought it would be a fun idea one day." I'm very proud of those neural interfaces. I really, worked hard on them. You can't even tell on the fingers, can you? Nah, it's just magic.
Eugene, 150 rubles.
Thank you.
Golem equals artificial human body and legends made from clay. There you go.
Brilliant. Now, I quite like this scene with the two Data daughter lookalikes, because that's what they are.
Did you see the flowers going up to the sky? Because she says there's like 23 at this point. Because earlier they're like, how many do you have? Please
10.
tell me it's 218.
Wow.
We had 15, we're down to 10. So they're obviously building more.
It's pretty cool.
Because they had 2 days. But I didn't notice them the first time, but you see them like launching up there. So
and that's a good level of subtle. I like that. Because you see the next time on, there's definitely more than 10. Like, there's like a lot of them. So I'm assuming they'll have like 40 or something. But I do like this scene. It's well acted. It shows that when you have two actors playing the same thing but with different makeup and such, it can work really well. And I like that she's like, have you processed the information yet? Because one's thinking from a human, because Soju has been programmed to think she's human. Even if there's other stuff seeping in, she's coming from that perspective, and the other one's coming directly from an android perspective. But this is when it starts to go downhill, when you're like, oh, she's going to be this, is she? If we don't take them out first, if we don't call for help, but Picard's got a ship, he can take us out of there. But it'll always be hunted, always be fought, always be... It's like, just take transport to the Delta Quadrant. Like, find a place that isn't got people. You can live there for 1,000 years. It's fine.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's funny that the robots in the Mud episode, they weren't hunted and killed, unless they were. They probably weren't hunted and killed.
Yeah, it's a good conversation. I don't remember much of what was said here, to be honest. But yeah.
I summed it up anyway, so.
Exactly. You did a good job. I'm just trying to see if there's anything I can add to it, but I really don't think so.
Then,
there's where Narek
Yes.
Narek comes in. Yeah.
And they've got his bag for some reason.
Yeah. Then we see Spot 2.
Yeah.
And they made him. He's an android cat, so there you go.
Yeah. Oh, and then you get the love scene between these two, and it's like, it's completely not a thing. Like, at least they didn't kiss, but it's like, you haven't earned this.
Yeah, I know.
You haven't earned the I love you later, you haven't earned this, you haven't earned the Elnor. You haven't... Everything you think you've earned, you haven't earned. Refilm it, try again, make all the episodes longer, and have a better story. I mean, I know he probably likes her as like, you're a pretty fit babe that I had sex with once and it was pretty good. You're alright.
You're pretty easy. Yeah.
Yeah, you're easy. You come up to me, I didn't have to do anything. I was playing football and I got laid. It was great. Space laid. So obviously he's fond of her. Although him saying, she's like, I'm memorable. He's like, you're not forgettable. It's like, she's really forgettable. Are you kidding? She's very bland. She's really bland. Like,
but you haven't had sex with her.
I haven't. And
so that could be what he was referring to.
And she was in I want to commit suicide every day sex mode. And that probably is like, this minute you want to last, I'm just gonna do stuff. This is a family friendly-ish live stream.
Moving on. This is where they get the little thing to repair their ship, and it looks so much like the little flute that Link has in Ocarina of Time. It's exactly what it looks like. But this will repair your ship. How? Use your imagination.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks.
Good. She's like, okay, bye. It's cute. I like it. My interpretation is that they like organic tech because they're organic machines, and so put it on, press it, and it'll do its thing. Don't think about it, it just does it. We don't know how we built it, we just all built it. It's based on our tech. It's fine. It's like, we can heal, it can heal. Oh, and Citrus says, so Earth-file conflict looking. Yes! Great point. I like it. Yeah, something the Thalerons would use. Yes.
The Trembler says it looks like the Click remote from the movie Click. It does. Yeah. Jarzia, $2 Canadian. Forgettable is Girardi's defining character trait.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Brian Bushnell, $2.
Thank you.
Where are they going with Picard dying? They are going to fix the La Serena. So.
Well, they're also going to try and lower the budget each season. Yes.
Anyway, she says, I know I'm breaking the rules, gives him a big hug, and says, I love you, JL. And she's like, oh, you don't have to say it back. And he's like, I don't. And it's like, oh, awkward. And then as he's walking away, I love you too. And then he quickly storms off. Great. And then Rios comes up and says, hey, Girardi's having a sleepover. It's like, great. Yeah. I had no real issue with this scene. I understand that she knows he's dying, so she's like, oh, well, you were always there for me, even though I said you weren't. I think she knows that he actually was when he got her off the drugs the first time, which is covered in the Countdown comics, I guess. But it came off a little weird to me. It was unnecessary, I think.
Would the words unearned and flat be appropriate?
Yep.
Like, it's nice. I like Raffi enough at this point to be like, okay, cool. But this scene makes her feel like she was his most special officer ever. Because he wouldn't say, like, after, 15 years of Riker, and he talks about this in an interview where he says bye to Riker for the Titan, he shakes his hand and has a nod, and that's it. And instead, he says, I love you. Like, okay. I know he's older, different personality, but that felt out of character.
Maybe he said it because he knew that it's something that she wanted to hear. That he didn't necessarily mean it, and because he knows he's dying, he thinks he might as well be nice enough to kind of give her the resolution to her issues with him that she hasn't gotten.
But then he just said he didn't mean it. Like, I don't think he'd say it if he didn't mean it. Like, he's that sort of honourable guy. Because he could do the same thing with a hug. I hoped he was just going to turn around, give her his hug, and that would be enough. It just makes her seem like the best companion ever. Like, he didn't even say I love you to Riker. I love you, Will. I love you too. Like, he just met Riker. They didn't say I love you. It just seems dumb when you say it like that. Although, yeah, it is funny to think that the first episode we see her in, she's pointing a rifle at him, and now she's saying, thanks for everything you've done for me, even though she blamed him for her entire life, like, a week and a half ago, which was all her fault anyway. They basically flubbed her entire arc, and forgot where they were going, forgot their starting point, didn't care in the middle, and just want a nice, soppy resolution. Yeah, they've really butchered this character.
Yes, absolutely.
Very strange. Very, very strange.
I don't know. I think it was more of a platitude for her to just say it.
Yeah.
But
they acted well.
All right, so yeah. Well, next scene, he's calling Starfleet, saying, "I have a first contact situation. I'm going to need some help here." Which I like. He's trying to contact Starfleet. I don't know how far away they are necessarily. 25 light years farther than where they were, I guess. But that's something that was pointed out at the beginning. 25 light years in 15 minutes. So. And then Narek. In the prison. This is awesome. I'm thirsty. Give me some water. Well, this is how you treat your prisoners. We've never had prisoners before. How do the Romulans treat their prisoners? Let's change this to the topic.
That's clever writing.
That was beautiful. Yeah, absolutely.
Don't ask, you don't want to know. Oh, badly. Yeah. Very, very badly. So I should treat you badly. No. Treat me like a Federation prisoner. How do they treat them? Oh, they let them go. Oh, okay. Just...
Well, yeah, the stupidest android in charge of them.
Well, I mean, they're all... This is an unknown situation. And I like the fact that their brig is just like a room with a shield. Because there's no brig, it's just a room they happen to have for storage, and it's got a shield just in case. I like the start of this scene. What you just elaborate on, I think is great. But I just hate his characterization here. Because I don't buy he loves her. I think he's trying to manipulate her. But his acting is so, like, one-dimensional. I don't buy it. She doesn't buy it.
Oh, Soji, I was so worried about you. What? Stop.
Because his eyes say he's really in love with her, but the story doesn't give that. She's like, I pity you, and I pity myself for pitying you. I'm sorry, my love, but I'm going to kill you all. And it's like, what is this scene trying to be? I don't know what it's trying to be. He doesn't know what it's trying to be. You haven't set these things up properly. I was waiting for him to be like, quick, Soji, help me out of here, I still love you. And then for it to turn, fine, you fucker. I mean, they can swear. You know, will rain down
Yeah.
and kill you all. I've always hated, you know, like that turn, and it wasn't there. He was a whimpering little bitch the entire time.
Yeah. And Eugene, 150 rubles. Did they say 2 episodes ago there is no name for the system, just a number? No name for the planet, just the number.
Yeah, so I guess they just named it 4.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. It's
And
unexplored.
her name for it was their name for it, so...
Yeah. And people saying Narek is clearly unhinged. Yes. He does love her, but you can tell he is broken and not in right mind. Set, go back and watch his interaction with his sister. But I mean, but he didn't start out as unhinged, and the only way he got unhinged was sleeping with her too much. Like, there was nothing in between except, you know what I mean? Like, if he got the vision, he was clearly fine. Maybe sleeping with her made the vision hurt him more. Like, he went from being fine to not fine to loving her to trying to kill her to... It doesn't work. It was wrongly set up, and I don't get what he's trying to be. Although I like the fact that she says to the other lady, everything says a lie. All of it. 100%. All of it. It's right. It is. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Oh, and I love you, and I know. They stole the Star Wars,
Yeah.
which I thought was kind of funny.
And then the lady's like, I'll get you food and drink, and I'll heal your wounds. And he's like, okay. He looks at her. He sees the hummingbird brooch, and they focus on it. And then he puts his head in his hands and says, thank you.
Doesn't that look like the hummingbird that Data saw on the Baku world? Even in the same position?
Well, yeah, it's a hummingbird. That's how they fly.
Or at least Picard
yeah.
saw, I guess. I've seen the angle. I like this lady, the way she played it. I don't know. Oh yeah, then Soji comes in. I like this scene a lot because it works better in the second viewing. First viewing, you think it's to do with the situation. Second viewing, you're like, she's talking to him about destroying the galaxy. That's what she's talking about. Is the numbers game okay? Should I justify? How can you justify killing to save? Although I still find it silly that she can. How can she say it's a numbers game, saving 200 people and killing 100,000 trillion? It's like, Soji, there is no numbers game here. You can't use numbers. Like, so you're saying every one of you is worth 1.9 trillion. It's like, what? It's a lot of people. You know, for every one of you, 500 million children are dying. Yep. Doesn't really work.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think of the scene,
I just love Picard's reaction to it.
Mm-hmm.
The logic of the situation. I don't like the sounds of that. How he says it. It just. I think it's so well played.
Yep.
So I really enjoyed the scene. Honestly,
Yeah.
I really
Me too.
appreciated it, and it was very subtle. It wasn't like, "Hey, should I go kill everybody just to save these people?" Oh, okay. Yeah, it was played really well.
Because I assume she was meaning, is it okay for us to kill the Romulans? Like, justify, because she says, I don't feel comfortable taking a life to save a life. But yeah, when you realise it's like galactic, it's like, oh. Yeah, I like Picard's. Yeah, but again, Picard is now being played like Picard now, for the most part.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is good. It's a good scene.
Well, then Sexbot Sutra shows up, and this is really weird. Sends the other one away, talks to Narek, and gets all like on him, and said, "I was really hoping that my desire to kill you would outweigh my need for you. However, here I am. Do you want to go free?"
Hashtag
What?
Hashtag no rules.
Yeah. So I mean, what is going on? That's confused me.
Well, she's creating a situation whereby people can what?
And Oddish says Narek's left cheek cut is gone. Well, yeah, you got it repaired with a dermal regenerator probably in the meantime.
Because they realize they don't need to keep putting in expensive makeup if they just write in dialogue, we healed it.
Yep.
I mean, it takes 2 hours off his morning. Why would you?
Yep.
Plus the shows they're nice. I mean, I was actually all for that. But no, I mean, it's a thing whereby she's trying to create the situation to make... She's tactically making everyone believe her. You know, it's like other shows where they force a killing just to say the other team did it to justify going and doing something bad. It's just weird the way she interacts with him, because what's he got to gain? Like, surely you would kill Narek, put him in a room, you kill your friend lady, and say he did it, thereby neutralizing both people. You wouldn't let him actually go because he's a threat. His entire existence is around killing your entire existence, so why would you let him go free? You wouldn't.
Yeah. So you think she's the one that killed the other android?
Well, no, that's what you would do. But I'm saying, what does he have to gain? Even if she said, I'm letting you go free, do whatever you want, she walks away, and the other one walks back, and she just, like... And besides, androids have more strength, so it more likely is that this Sutra could manhandle her and stab her than a Romulan could. Yeah, because Data can even beats Klingons in strength, and I'm sure Klingons can beat Romulans in strength, so I would assume only Sutra could do it. And you could argue that's why it actually killed the lady, because I don't think a stabby thing through your eye would kill a robot, considering they're robots and they, like... Data got shot with bullets. I mean, they're hard to kill, even through the positronic brain, things can reroute. So why did that
There's
kill?
Steven Seagal?
Sure. What?
Hard to kill.
Oh.
Steven Seagal movie.
Whereas I can imagine if Sutra killed her, then she probably stabbed it right into the right place to kill her and leave no witnesses. That makes more sense to me.
That's where the off button is on those ones, behind the eyeball. Not the lower back. It's like the little reset buttons on clocks and stuff that you got to get a little sharp thing in there.
Moved it for safety.
Yeah.
Oh God, I like that. That's bad.
Less likely to be hit up there, I'm just saying.
Yeah, it is, yeah. But at this point, I mean, come on, this lady, this actress, she can play two characters well. This Sutra is a completely different characterization. Did a good job with this. Like, acting credit, big acting credit for her. Well done.
Eugene, 150 rubles.
Thank you.
Look at that hummingbird. Its beak's just long enough to perforate positronic brain via an eye. Yeah.
Oh, and DX2069 says, God, she's for sure acting like Law. Yes.
That's the point, I think.
Definitely more. She's based off Law's engrams. Maybe she was the first one. And yeah, 100%. It really does fit that way.
DX2069, $2.
Thank you.
I 100% believe that Sutra is the one that did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you mix a Sutra to be my wife.
It's just weird the way they filmed it then, and the directing choice to have it linger on that with Narek there. I don't know.
Well,
I think
it's the only time we could have seen it and make sense, you know. But also just the framing of how Sung and her eye, and there's like blood, and it just goes by really quickly. It's a very poorly directed moment. It has no emotional impact at all. And it's like, why would she be dead? Why would she be... I don't know why she would. I assume that she was going to come back. I don't know. It was weird. It was a weird moment. It wasn't a well done moment. Oh, and then we get the speech. Look, they've killed another one of our brethren, and we're not even going to take the stabbed weapon out of her eye. Let's not give her the dignity of removing the murder weapon from her eye at her funeral. Great. Good job, Sutra. Good job. I mean, obviously that's intentional, but good job. Respectful to your sister. Why didn't the sister of the sister take it out? God's sake.
I know. Right? Yeah. No, this is... And you see all the people like lined up inside as well. Like, there's a lot of androids here.
Well, it's a case of if you see one version of person, double it. So any odd number, double it. So yeah, I mean, I would say it's about 100, something like that. But yeah, this is the Sutra speech. That basically, we've got a way of surviving, guys, if we kill everyone else. What? No, yeah. For our lives, we'll kill trillions of people across every planet. See, I would have been fine, right, if she'd said, if we call in the synths, the ultraviolet synths, they can destroy the Romulan threat. Then I would be on the side of the synths, because that makes sense. Defensive aggression rather than aggression. But as soon as she said kill every life form everywhere, you're like, huh?
Yeah.
Is there a word for universe murder? I mean, it's well, several. I mean, you know,
Universe-aside.
What's the name? So, Sutra, you're charged of 147,000 cases of genocide. How do you plead? Like, guilty. Yeah.
Extremely guilty.
Yeah, as guilty as anyone ever.
Well, I love Picard here. He's like, it doesn't have to be this way. You're fulfilling the prophecy. You're going to be the destroyer. I will go to Starfleet and I will advocate for your rights, and they'll listen to me. Like, where are you getting this from?
To me. But to be fair though, they did just listen to him. He was proven right. So right now he's got more cred with Starfleet than he had 2 weeks ago. To be fair, and he's got he had assertions before. Now he actually has proof. So I'm less against that overall.
Hold on. Content issue detected. Heads up. We've detected copyrighted audio or video in your stream. Your stream may be temporarily blocked. Say what?
Okay.
Moving through the pictures too fast, I think.
Maybe, yeah.
Jeff Jacobs, $2. 250, nice. But we need our 325. Hit like, hashtag make Jeff pay. It is now gone, that warning, so it's fine, I guess.
Right.
And the Trembler, $2. Blast it, Maddox. You forgot the ethical subroutines.
Well, that's why the law thing makes so much sense. And by golly, that better be the payoff.
Yep.
But I do like Picard's lines here. I do like Sutra's lines. I do like the idea of, Soji, look at me. Do you want to be the destroyer?
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I want to say yes, but that's the wrong answer. You think?
Yeah. Like this was actually a really good scene. The way he looks at Soji and is like, "So you will be the destroyer." It was just beautifully played.
Because she's fought this her entire 5 minutes of knowing she's the destroyer.
Yeah, and the whole ebb and flow of how it came to be is very interesting. How they came to this conclusion, and this is like the idea that will solve the problem.
Yep.
I think this is actually pretty well written, considering
the dumb plot, yes, and the fact that Sung is like, you idiots. He was not listening to his own plays. Like he is right at Picard. Like no holds bar.
How lore-like is that?
Yeah.
Like really.
I'm going to talk about it at the end, so I do want to talk about the whole thing briefly. Not obviously a huge amount, because we're going to do a whole thing on it. But, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Fleet Pass Swiftback, $2. Enjoyed this scene, very Trek-like, in my opinion.
It's just a stupid plot. And this scene is what ruined the episode for me. You're right, it's a good scene, well played, but it reduces the synths to the villains now. It makes Sutra. It makes her a one-dimensional villain. Lorca became the Trump, kill them all, make the Empire great again. She's kill all humans. We must have the perfect specimen of synthetic life. Anyone that's not a synthetic must die. It's like, oh great, she's Hitler now. Cool. Okay.
Well, I love how they're gonna block up Girardi too, and Girardi's like, no, I can help you. Well, a mother would die for her children. Look at me, I'll be able to tell if you're lying. And she's willing to die because she wanted to commit suicide every day, so you know what I mean? Like, she doesn't care at this point. So I think it's a ploy. She's going to turn out to be the savior of this whole situation at some point in the next episode, and get redeemed for killing Maddox. Because Picard looks at her and says, "No, don't do it, Girardi." And she kind of gives him a look like, "Yeah, don't worry, I got this shit. Get the hell out of here." So she's not getting locked up. Just Picard is.
And everyone's saying thanks for my accent. Hey, welcome. Yeah, I was confused by Girardi because this is a complete 180 from her entire story arc. It's like, oh, now she's willing to destroy the universe for the people that she knew that were going to destroy the universe. Like, she felt the prophecy, and now she's helping the prophecy happen that made her kill a thing. I don't understand.
She's trying to redeem herself, and she's working against them, even though she's pretending she's working with them.
I hope so. Otherwise, it ruins her arc.
DX2069 says, "I think she is also a synth." I mean, I could see Maddox making a synth version of her and not letting her know.
I mean, Sung did it. I mean, you could,
Yeah. Vincent Wong puts in 279 and says, "Those last gold androids look like Proto-Lal."
What, like? I like the different. I like the choice in a lot more girls than guys. Actually, I just realized this still has like 90% women in it.
Yeah.
So, well, I guess, I mean, why wouldn't you make more women? They're nicer built than men.
Yeah.
Except that guy. I mean, that guy has nice hair, and that guy has no hair. So there you go.
Zine some Natic. $10.
You right
But
there,
thank you.
Stuart?
No, I'm having a stroke.
$10.
Not sure. Not sure if this has been mentioned yet. Does this make Sutra the Destroyer then? Her sister died, and she looks just like Dodge and Soji, and evil. Oh, never thought about that.
That was a prophecy. Which one of you are you, the alive one or the dead one? Yep.
Wow. Yeah.
Perfect. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Cool. Yeah, so I think Girardi is going to work behind the scenes to help them out, and
Yeah.
and then she's going to sacrifice herself in some way,
Yes.
or earn the redemption that she needs for killing Maddox.
Now, the distinction being, she says, "Would you die for your children?" She's thinking in her brain, "I would die to ensure you don't kill the universe. I'm dying to save your souls." Because if she's not lying, it has to go somewhere, you know. What do you think if it was revealed that she is now swapped sides 180, 100%? Like, if it was exactly as is being played for the next episode, how would you feel?
Not good. I would be pissed because it's not, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I didn't even think she would be double agent, but I'm hoping. You've got me on the hope train there. And yeah, evil shot. She's going evil.
Oh, yes.
They've sent Picard to the they've put Picard on house arrest. They're going to build this thing to cool the people. It'll take one day, and they'll come in and kill the universe. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, and then we get make landfall. Make landfall in one day.
Why is she in charge and not Sung? The one that created them all. Why is she in charge?
I don't know, but Eugene's saying, I guess we missed his last super chat. Oh, yes, we did. 250 rubles.
Thank you.
Maybe Sutra is the real Seb Chineb. By the way, spot 2? Cool, but why? There is no data here. Well, I would assume Maddox would have done that as just to see if we could build a android cat. And because he was friends with Data, why not name it Spot?
Yeah, exactly. You're making a cat, why not making it the same cat? Sure. And besides, they all have memories of Spot, so I'm sure every single robot, every single android in that plays with the cat because they love it.
And gives it feline supplement 192 or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
The Trembler, $2. The Golem gets Data's mind, and he objects to this.
I mean, sure, that'd be cool.
Yeah. And Zen Somnatic, I can't say your name, but he joined the channel.
Do you have a first name we can call you out? So we can say hi like Eugene?
I'll just call him Zen.
Zen's good. But welcome.
Zensomniac. That's it. Zensomniac.
Welcome.
It's like a insomniac, but...
and yes, bye, Donnie. Have a great weekend.
What?
Donnie says bye. And guys, are you enjoying this higher bitrate stream? Because we are literally like 2.5 times our normal quality. So you guys have seen all our streams. Have you noticed a better quality? Does it look nicer? I know YouTube might be messing with around that a little bit, but
But yeah, and then
Zemsomniac, like Insomniac. Okay.
Yeah, Zensomniac. Got it. I finally figured it out though. See. But yeah, then it ends with the fleet and the zoom in, and they say, "Commodore, we will make landfall in one day." Or whatever. Landfall. What are you on the ocean?
And is that human hours?
Stupid.
Romulan hours? Space hours? Because seriously, why they wouldn't be using Earth hours?
And why is she a Commodore?
Why
she should not be a Commodore in the Romulan Navy.
I mean, I'm not against that, but it's weird that she has 2 Commodore ranks in 2 different societies. Because that means she was a Commodore 30 years ago when she joined Starfleet. No, more than that. With Data 4... No, more than that. It would have been 50 or 60 years. Wow, okay. So she was a rank of Commodore, didn't upgrade her rank for that many years, and then got Commodore and stuff. So you can imagine, right? You were Commodore of the Royal Empire, then you went and was an ensign in Starfleet. That must have sucked. All this death-killing power.
I'll buy that for a second.
And then you start back at an ensign. I have to be nice and vice versa. That would really piss me off. Yeah.
Paul Johnson, 2 pounds. When they reach the planet, land ho, Captain. Or hey ho, you oh. Or hey oh, you ho. Land, there be matey,
And Ribeye Overdrive says Commodore is her first name.
Oh. Yeah, and you know this was really funny about somebody said wear her sunglasses. Ironic, is it not, that she needs to wear sunglasses at Okinawa on Earth, yet when she's on the planet with 8 fucking suns around it, she doesn't need sunglasses. Just saying.
Do you see why we made fun of it? It's nonsensical.
No, they don't get it.
Michael Chabon is sometimes clever, sometimes misses the point entirely.
Yeah. Traver Umbarger puts in $20.
Oh,
Thank you very
dude.
much.
Woo!
Sutra better be based on Lore's engrams, or else I'll have trouble watching season 2. That's the only way her reaction makes sense, as Data never would have gone for destroying all organic life in the galaxy. Exactly.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Mole says I love it when Captain Foley says fuck.
we don't swear that often, but there's a reason when we do, you know? I don't swear
Generally,
in the
yes.
videos. In the lives we swear because it's occasional, but yeah.
Yeah. And that's it, guys. So yeah, it felt first half was better, second half not so much. Although there's little nuggets in this one that's just pretty good. And Sexy Soji is great. So
It's just the plot that's the problem, which in a TV show is not the best thing to have plot as a problem. But I did still enjoy watching it. I'll give him that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But as for rank, I'm going to have to give this I really struggled with this last night. I didn't rank it at all. But I thought, I'm thinking 6, then 5.5, and then 5. And I'm kind of like bouncing around in that gray area. So what I'm going to do is, because it's the gray area and the gray zone, and we might get assimilated, we should probably go with a 5.5 out of 10. Just because.
Yeah, makes some sense.
We needed to mention the gray. We needed to mention the gray zone again because it was never brought up ever again. So there you go.
And that Romulan never came back, the cool one or the good one.
No.
It was fun. But the Romulan, the Borg did come back. But Stuart, my final thoughts, like I said, are it's a fine episode. It's a story letdown, but it's everything we expect from Kurtzman. This is the one where you remember you're watching a Kurtzman production, which is sad. And I definitely think that when Chabon came on, he changed some things, they tweaked some things, and they improved the story. But this is the original end point. And therefore, just like Discovery Season 1, it feels disjointed and feels messy, and the characters haven't been earned properly. Because, 2 episodes to 3 and add Riker, that's 2 full episodes, that's 2 50 minutes or 45 minutes that might have been spent learning more of Raffi or more of Rios. All this stuff has been cut out. It's a hollow show that is trying to stand with giants, but it's a house on stilts that's empty, and it's got Picard sitting in a corner reading a book, looking around an empty room, and Americans being asked to pay for it, and it looks cheap, at least inexpensive. But my score, Stuart, are you ready? 9.5.
No, it's not.
For the Borg moment, the Borg keeping out of transwarp. 9.5 for that one CGI sequence shot. That was beautiful. 9.5 out of 10. Brilliant. For the first half, up until after Brent bit, up until when? What do I consider my first half? Up until the mind meld. Everything up until the mind meld. If you disinclude the rushed, nonsensical bits, but just the pure enjoyment, I would have given the first half like a 7.5 to 8. If you know what I mean. Like, yeah, I enjoyed that. That was good. Bit dumb, but I enjoyed it. The last, like, 6 minutes, I'd give, like, a 2. In terms of, like, plot rationale and, like, breaking the show. And it should have been 10 minutes longer, show us some other stuff. But overall, I'm going to give this one, I think a 6 point... No, you said 5.5. I think 5.5 is very appropriate. It's better than average, but it's not a good episode particularly. So I think 5.5 is very, very reasonable. But like I said, one 9.5 moment. I think for sure. So guys, now put in your reviews and final thoughts. We'd love to have. We've always had a few, but guys, put as many as you want right now. We'd have a final big burst of super chats before we head out.
I'm just gonna nail these super chats real quick.
Brilliant.
Ryan Howe, $10. Going to guess Sutra is more of a figurehead for who is really in control. If Alton is lore and he's still trying to hide who he is, even from the other synths, he would need someone to rally other synths. Yep, I would buy that. Fleet Paw Swiftback puts in $2 and says 5 out of 10 for me here. Not as good as the preceding episode. No, not by a long shot. Eugene, 150 rubles. Thank you. But how can you take off the glasses in an epic without putting them on in the first place? I know, right? It's like, what's his name from CSI Miami? Always doing the glasses thing.
And Medallion says, the Borg getting neutered faster than Voyager. Blow drones out of an airlock and take a huge cube down with giant orchids. Very true. They used to be hard to take down, and now it's incredibly easy.
Yeah. Vincent Wong throws in $6.99.
Thank you. Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you.
Effin' bridge window. Also, if Soong is actually synth lore, what are the chances there's a synth data locked up in the compound? I love that. I never considered that.
And if he had to get made as a pair, maybe Maddox actually had to make the twins again. Lore and data based on engrams.
If he's synth organic, yeah. That's
interesting. That would be a good reveal, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, must be lore. It's the only thing, you know?
Yeah. Eugene, 500 rubles, 3.5 out of 10. Didn't like it. Expecting Discovery Season 2 finale in the next episode, as are we. And the Trembler, $5. Despite the problems, I could see them pulling off a good ending with this setup. Probably not an original one. It'll have to be, it'll be cliffhangered over to Season 2.
Yeah. And I think the next one must be longer. I think Discovery Season 1, it was, or Discovery Season 2 was longer. We were quite... I think if they gave it 55 to 60 minutes and focused and didn't just have Discovery Season... I mean, Discovery Season 2 last episode is bad. It's really bad. Just, if the pew is actually quite short, it's more about characters. But, yeah, it's... like, where's Narissa go? Is she going to be there? Are we even going to care? You know,
I expected to see her on the bridge, not Commodore O. I can tell you that.
That would have made more sense. Yeah. I mean, we see Narek in the next time on go up to the Borg cube and be like, or next to the lesser and say, I'm here to help. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Jarzia, $2, 3.5 out of 10. May improve if the payoff is good next week.
If the lore reveal, if Kama Sutra Lady is revealed to be dumb, not doing it really, if she gets killed by whatever. If everyone rebels against her because they realize they want to murder everyone in the universe, I'll improve it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mole, £1.99. Picard score 7 out of 10. Okay. Overall Star Trek score 2.5 out of 10.
I can see that, though. And Tassar Trek says 10 out of 10 for the bronze thingy, so for the bronze makeup. Yeah, I thought that was good.
Yeah, Sexy Soji was great, I'm saying. Ensign Ricky, $2. It's a fake. 6 out of 10 for me. Yep. And Taurus 69, $2. I rate it 5.5 out of 10 as well. Well, 2, he says, but as well sounds better.
And I'll read some non-super chat ones. 6.5 for him. From Charles, Aussie says 7.5 for the Borg ship crashing, and 10 out of 10 for us. 7 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10, 7 out of 9 because Jerry looked nice. 4.5 out of 10, 7.5. Pardon me, 5.5. 6 or 7 out of 10, maybe 6.5. Jesus Commander, you threw us all off. Don't know what that means. A wonky 5 out of 10. 8 out of 10, 8.75 out of 10. Very specific, Hez. 8.5, 8 out of 10. Last half was 1 out of 10. 5 out of 10 max volume. Mark is at 5.9. 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10. 4.5 brooch pins in the eye out of 10. I think Kurtzman got removed after episode 5. That was so god awful. The show is more moments with 7, with 9. I think Peter says I hope there'll be a big surprise at the end of the show, like the Enterprise showing up. I do too. I mean, that's the obvious. The fact that the Romans have a head start means that there'll absolutely be a moment where, sir, more ships are incoming. We can't survive against more ships. No, they're the good guys. What show is that from? No, it's the Romans. No, it's from. I don't know. It's from a show I watched recently.
Zara Trek said you threw me off with your 9 out of 10, Commander. That's what they're talking about.
Yes.
They'll throw you off.
Yeah.
For now, it's a 5.5. Next, we'll determine its final rating. Yeah, I totally agree, Adrian.
Yeah. It was a medium to weak setup because it made the synths bad guys. And seriously, when you leave the show, remember, Darj got killed in the first episode. You felt sympathy for them. And now I want the synths to get at least kidnapped, captured, killed. At least this lady killed. I mean, I have no sympathy for Kama Sutra lady. I mean, everyone else, they're fine. Kill Kama, kill Sutra, and then have everyone else be fine. We'll talk about the predictions next week, but just making her a one-dimensional villain is really a shame. Really a shame.
Yeah. And Jersey, Trekyards, Chang, Icheb, now the android girl. What is it with Star Trek and left eyes? I suck. Even Admiral Foley has an eye patch on the left eye. So.
Yeah. And so, guys, we're at the end of our tremendous stream. That was a fun one, Stuart. I saw a lot more I didn't see first time round. Do check out our short review, because we do talk about different things in that review. It was released 4 hours ago, and already has 2.5 thousand views. If you want to go back and check out last week's videos, we did a stream. I did a stream with Anti-Trekker, who's another YouTuber. Hell of a lot of debates, very passionate debates on some of it, which was a lot of fun. And he was actually meant to be another live stream for the second half, but kept on ours for some reason. He didn't tell me he was meant to be another one. Oops, but he enjoyed our stream and loved talking to you guys. And he took Foley's place quite well in that he read super chats and interrupted me to read super chats, so he did that well. Good for him.
I need to watch that still.
You do. It's worth a watch.
I saw parts of it, but...
and it'll be fun now that we know a lot of this bullshit that we thought, because it's not as clever. So it'll be interesting to see what we, even as of like 2 days ago, got wrong. And we have some other good episodes coming out this week. Some good topics. We've already filmed a couple. I think there are some nice tech and ship ones, which obviously are bread and butter. So look forward to those. And obviously our lives, we've got some really good live topics next week. I'm actually genuinely looking forward to talking to them with you. There's some really good stuff. It's going to be fun. And then we're close to season finale, and then we're close to the drunk Trekyards stream, and that'll be a thing. With all this virus stuff going around, I've stocked up and I'm ready to have a nice time with you guys. So do make the date in your calendar for Saturday, the 4th of April, to stay indoors, put on the Trekyards live stream sometime much earlier in the day for you guys, and get drunk with us. Talk about Star Trek Picard the entire season. That'll be our season wrap up.
You're lucky that the Canadian border to the U.S. is closed right now, because otherwise I would have had to do something on April 4th. I would have had to go to the States for a thing. So,
okay,
which I completely forgotten about.
Okay, luckily the whole world got into virus. Wow, the luck of it.
Well, yeah. So you got bastards better be here.
It's true.
You're lucky.
It's true.
Anyway, guys.
Yeah.
We need to go make some foods and stuff. So
and,
I will.
Yes, Red Dwarf. That won't be then. That'll be after. But yeah, I definitely think we'll do a Red Dwarf one, because you guys seem to like that. And thanks for joining in. And if we can get to 280 likes, yeah, those that haven't click like now. End the stream on a high note. We're at 272. What are you gonna eat, Stuart? What are you gonna make? While we get some likes.
Chicken tortilla wraps.
Yeah, I actually some fresh chicken at the supermarket yesterday, which was quite a surprise. I'm also gonna make fajita powder wraps as well. So yeah. 275. Come on, 280. Come on, 276. Come on. We're waiting on you guys. You guys have the power now. We are waiting. 281. Okay.
There you go.
Wow.
All right,
the happiness on Stuart's face. Well, you'll see us tomorrow, and we'll see you on Monday. Until then, he's Captain Foley.
I am, and he's Commander Calkins.
See you next time. Bye, guys.
He is. Bye.